Hello all my beautiful little unicorns and welcome back to my channel. And if this is indeed the first time that you're on my channel, my name is Vanessa Somuayina. I am the author of 3 tarot and oracle decks, the proud founder of Bow Life Switzerland, and of course your favorite psychic here on YouTube. My beautiful babies of the Zodiac, as usual, I have your monthly predictions and horoscopes prepared for you. And not only does each sign of the Zodiac receive its very own horoscope, but there's also a pick a card option at the start of this video. So for any of you who are completely new to this space, let me explain to you how you can receive your very own super personalized September readings. In just a second, I will introduce you to 4 different groups that you can choose from in order to receive the first part of your September predictions. And once you've picked that group and watched part 1 of your reading, you get to scroll back down into the description box or to the top of the comment section where I have pinned a timestamp for each sign of the Zodiac. And for your September predictions, I am using the tropical astrology system, and I recommend that you watch your sun sign as well as your rising sign. And if you know your moon sign, tune into that too. This reading is completely customizable, so you can tune into all of the most important placements of your birth chart. So now before I introduce you to the 4 groups, I've got something really fun. I'm giving away a free copy of my latest oracle deck, the Wild Muse Oracle. And this is an international giveaway, you guys. So wherever you are on the face of this planet, if you win, I will make sure that this oracle deck arrives straight at your doorstep. So let me explain the rules of the giveaway. First, make sure you're subscribed to my channel. Then go follow me on Instagram at Vanessa Somuayina. And lastly, comment a little butterfly emoji on my latest post. The winner will be DM'd on Instagram, and the closing date for the giveaway can be found below in the description box. 1 comment equals 1 entry, and you can of course enter this giveaway as often as you wish to. So don't miss out on your chance to get a free copy of the Wild Muse Oracle deck. Guys, I'm so excited to provide you with your September predictions and horoscopes, so let's get into it. So these are the 4 groups that I have prepared for you today. Hello, my beautiful earth angels. So these are the 4 groups that I have prepared for you for part 1 of your September 2022 predictions. Don't forget that after you've received this first part, you get to add on to your September horoscope by using the timestamps that I've provided for each zodiac sign. But now please allow for me to introduce you to the 4 groups. So group number 1 corresponds to the Oriens Animal Tarot. Group number 2 corresponds to the Ostara Tarot. Group number 3 corresponds to the Pastel Journey Tarot. And group number 4 corresponds to the Gentle Heart Tarot. But the timestamps to all 4 of these groups, as well as all the signs of the zodiac, can be found below in the description box, as well as pinned to the top of the comment section for quick and easy access from your mobile devices, your laptops, and your TVs. So I will now provide you with a little moment of privacy so you can meditate on these 4 groups. Feel free to pause the video right here if you need a little moment to meditate on them, and I'll be right back with you to guide you into your highly personalized September 2022 predictions and horoscopes. I strongly recommend that you pick whichever group that you intuitively felt drawn towards. Don't overthink it, my beautiful earth angels. And furthermore, if you're interested in a September prediction that is exclusively focused on love, I posted that a couple days ago. I'll leave the link to that video in the description box too. So yeah, you guys, that is it for the intro. I'm gonna get into your readings, starting off with the first group. So if this is a group that you chose, then please continue watching. And to all of my other beautiful groups, as well as babies of the Zodiac, I will catch you at the click of your timestamp. And of course, if you feel comfortable in this space and you appreciate the effort and thought that I put into my readings, make sure that you hit that subscribe button as well as give this video a thumbs up, as that greatly helps push your September predictions out into the YouTube multiverse. So I'll catch you all at the click of your timestamps. Hello, group number 1, and welcome to the first part of your highly personalizable September 2022 predictions and horoscope. You chose the Oriens Animal Tarot. Fantastic choice, group number 1. This is one of the newest decks to my collection, and I absolutely love this tarot deck. And I can't wait to channel some messages for you to figure out exactly what's coming towards you during the month of September and what you need to look out for. So first and foremost, we've got the 3 of Wands, we've got the Temperance card, as well as the 6 of Swords. Let's start off right in the middle, shall we, with the Temperance card. This is a major arcane arcana card within the tarot, and the Temperance card is a card that signifies balance. Furthermore, the Temperance card is also a card of education. So I see here that during the month of September, you will find balance through educating yourself, through learning more, and overall not being afraid to look at some dark sides of life and society and communities. I see that you're definitely someone who seeks the truth and isn't afraid to delve a little deeper, right? To look at the dark aspects of history, but also just modern life. So I do see within the Three of Wands that you will be exploring a lot of different topics. So such as, for example, fast fashion, ways in which the environment is being damaged, maybe also things such as child labor, all of these different topics I see here within the Three of Wands, that sensitive parts of life and humanity are being explored by you during the month of September. And now the Six of Swords shows me that this will really change your worldview. So during the month of September, you will find that you're unraveling a lot of different aspects of humanity that you never knew existed, and it's definitely making you feel, in a sense, hopeful, because now you know, and now you can make sure that you're not a part of the problem. But in a way, it also makes you feel like, wow, this world is seriously messed up in some ways. And I hope that you can appreciate my honesty, group number one. As you know, I'm a very honest and direct reader. I'm not here to just tell you what you want to hear. I'm here to give you the undiluted version of the messages that are coming through for you. And I definitely see that uncovering uncomfortable topics is what you're doing in September, and that shows a lot of maturity and strength within you. Next up, we've got the Ten of Swords. So you will definitely need a little mental break here within the month of September. So because you're taking in so much new information and you're exploring so many different areas of life, it's important to make sure that you don't burn yourself out and that you don't kind of fall into a little bit of this victim mode or feeling as though the world is a really dark place. So that's where I see in the Ten of Swords that your guides are trying to remind you to take a lot of time for yourself and also to see the bright side, even though you're maybe watching a lot of crime shows and investigation type things. Next up, we've got the Nine of Swords. And now in the Nine of Swords, I do see here that worry is something that you're learning to deal with. Now, group number one, if you're just naturally a worrywart, and I'm the exact same, then you know exactly what I speak of, and that it's definitely something that takes time and training for you to get used to not doing so much anymore, and for you to kind of like unlearn, right? A pattern of worry is something that is sometimes given to us, especially from parents. Depending on your situation, you may have even had a narcissistic parent or a parent who you felt like you had to parent, and that can often lead to a very type of anxious attachment style and for people to become worrywarts later on in life. But I see here with an angel that you've got some amazing spiritual guidance and protection from harm here for you during the month of September. So group number one, don't overthink it. Don't feel as though you're alone in this world, because you never are. And furthermore, within the angel, I can definitely see that the spiritual guidance is soothing your soul, soothing and calming your nerves, and allowing for you to really face some dark sides of life in September successfully. Next up, we've got the Axe. So within the Axe, I can see here that there's something you're being made aware of that is not working out within your favor. And I do see here that there are some mental patterns and connections that could be involved within this. And I can see here within the Feather that the reason why you are the way you are, group number one, is because someone that you know is undependable and insincere. So again, that could have been a parent, it could have been someone like a teacher, some sort of authority figure that should have had your back but kind of failed to do so. So therefore, you learned to depend on yourself early on. You became very mature early on because there is no such thing as a mature child or an old soul when you're very young, group number one. We have to be aware that often this just shows that you had to learn to cope with a lot of things yourself. It doesn't mean you're mature. It often means you felt like you had no other choice other than to be a grown-up already. And that's where I can see here within the feather and the axe that you're kind of learning to allow for more fun, more childlike behavior, and just your inner child to live, to breathe, to have a little bit of room to exist, especially if that privilege was taken from you at an earlier stage in your existence. Next up, we've got the best case scenario. So things are definitely looking bright for you in September once you kind of figure out how to handle some of the trauma that you've been through or some of the patterns that you're trying to rewire and reconstruct. The best case scenario card shows me here that things are going to turn out as favorable as you can imagine. So if there is, for example, an exam or a test that you need to take, know that the best case scenario will be the outcome. We also have the master number 33 attached to it. So I do see here that it's almost like you're teaching yourself to trust yourself again and to know that the best case scenario is something you can access and is possible for you and is highly likely. Next up, we've got some big changes coming for you too, group number one. Now, these big changes are changes we're going to still talk about. I want to use a few more cards to figure out exactly what these changes may be. But do know here that September is definitely a month of epiphanies and a month of your mindset changing on a fundamental scale as well. And this makes a lot of sense because, as already mentioned, you're learning a lot of things that you didn't know beforehand, but it's becoming illuminated and crystal clear during the month of September. Did you see that, group number one? Now, that was wild. I need to put an instant replay right here. I mean, have you ever seen a card pop into a reading in that way? I'm so excited to figure out exactly what this is. Ooh, be authentic. Group number one, the Wild Muse Oracle Deck has spoken for you. If you feel a deep connection to this Oracle deck, then know that this is a deck that encourages you to be authentic, for your big changes to entail you relentlessly being yourself, no matter whether other people like it or not. You're taking off the mask or masks, because sometimes you can have multiple masks depending on what social situation you're in, who you're dealing with, what type of scenario that you're being put in. You may have a mask for work, one for family, one for friends, one for your lover. And I see here within Be Authentic that you're taking all of them off and you feel as though you can just be one consistent version during the month of September and hopefully moving forward as well. But of course, a little bit of differentiation is also important. It does show a certain sense of flexibility and emotional intelligence, because obviously you don't want to speak to your boss or coworkers or people with whom you deal with professionally the way you speak to close friends, right? So a little bit of discrepancy, that is fine and healthy, and I think very necessary. But this is about being authentic, being able to be yourself and not worrying about whether people like you or not. Wow, we've got another master number for you. We've got the master number 44 here in On Fire. So September is definitely going to be a very passionate month that's full of energy, full of fire and enthusiasm for you, group number one. I hope that you're looking forward to this month, because it does seem like it will be a pretty meaningful one for you. And here in connectivity to the axe, I also see that any force or anybody who has worked against you or is currently working against you in order to kind of like take your shine away, or maybe they're just jealous in a sense, I can see here that you're kind of just burning right through any of that nonsense, and you're not even giving it the time of the day or your energy, group number one, which is really amazing to see and just shows that your focus is on yourself. Your focus is on the things that truly matter. Next up, we've got the South Node. So unpacking some of that past and dealing with it. That's what I see here in connectivity again to the master number 33. You've had this master number show up twice for you, and this is a number that shows that you are an amazing teacher and you're meant to inspire others through your path and your journey. You've come so far from humble beginnings, from a starting point where not everyone would have had the courage to push through. And I see that you're meant to use your voice and you're meant to inspire others who come from similar backgrounds and family situations such as yourself, who can learn and see how much potential that they truly have through having you as a role model. Next up, we've got the 4th house for you, group number 1. Now, in the 4th house, I can see here that we have this connection to Cancer, and we already had the crab symbol show up within the Temperance card for you. So within this Cancerian connection, we've got your home, your family life, and again, your past that's mentioned here in the 4th house, because the 4th house is the house of your past as well. And as mentioned, it is connected to Cancer. Cancer is by default ruled by the moon, and it's all about feeling. It's all about really being in your body and in your emotions. And that's what I see here for you for the month of September. And that's teaching you not only a lot about yourself, but also a lot about your future self and how you can create a type of characteristic in you that allows you to be resilient and strong and continue to inspire others. But group 1, this is just the first part of your prediction. I want to get a lot more personal now with your zodiac sign. So what you can do now is scroll down, click your zodiac sign, and you'll be fast forwarded to the second, even more personalized part of your September prediction, where we will figure out everything else that you need to know about your September horoscope that's even more in depth and even more accurate. Leave a little Cancer emoji in the comment section if you made it to this point, a little crab emoji, and I'll catch you during your zodiac signs part 2 of your September reading. Hello, group number 2, and welcome to your September 2022 horoscopes and predictions. You chose the Ostara tarot for the first part of your personalized reading. So before we get into your zodiac signs prediction, we are first going to figure out what your guides have to say to you about September in this first part of your highly personalizable reading. So let's get into it. I absolutely love this tarot deck, by the way. This is definitely one of my faves. It's been with me for a long time. I think I've had this deck for about 3 years or so, and it is truly fantastic. We've got the Hanged Man, as well as the Two of Wands, as well as the High Priestess. So one thing that I can immediately see here within the Hanged Man is that the month of September is meant to be a really chill month for you, group number 2, so you're not meant to do too many new crazy things. Furthermore, the High Priestess solidifies this, as this also is a card of non-action. This is a card of connecting with your unconscious awareness and also figuring out where your highest potential lies. So I do see here that it's important for you to not feel as though you're not doing enough or you're not being productive enough. I can definitely see that some of this toxic productivity that we have within society and toxic positivity can get to you sometimes, and you feel as though you're not putting your all in as much as you maybe should, or you're maybe comparing what you've accomplished at the age you're at to what other people have accomplished, or what you can see on social media, what you can see in the media in general. So that's where I can see here that the more you feel like stressed about those things, the more you actually need inaction. So you're not just acting impulsively, but your action always comes from a place of inspiration and genuinely wanting to do things. Furthermore, we've got the Tower. So I do see here that things are going to completely change in September on a mental level. Okay, there is some deep cellular change that is going on for you psychologically, and that's why it is so important that you give yourself time for this epiphany, for this moment of spiritual enlightenment within your existence. So I do see here in the High Priestess too, that it's very important for you to take your time to reflect and to connect with the divine feminine, and also to get in tune with your natural cycles. That's what the High Priestess is about. We've got the Hermit. So going into hermit mode, going away from the world, not having anyone influence this really big and important time of change within your life. Again, this is change on a psychological level. This is change that is happening with your thought patterns. You are no longer going to feel like the quote unquote old you by the end of September, and you're going to feel as though everything has completely been revamped and revitalized within your life. But you must give yourself time away from people who stress you out, from situations that take you away from the moment. You have to really focus on you, group number 2, and you have to focus on this transitional period. Next up, we've got the Jar of Dreams. So a lot of dreams and aspirations that you maybe once had, but you kind of put away and put to the side because you either thought you're not ready or you're not capable of it or you're too far away from it. I see that all of these things are coming back and you're finding it in you to pursue your jar of dreams again, to go after the things that you've dreamt of, because you're going through this complete change. You're rebuilding your confidence from the ground up. And of course, it's going to be a challenge. It's not going to be the easiest thing you've ever did, group number 2, but nothing worthwhile ever comes that easily, now does it? So that is exactly the type of vibe that I see here in September for you, rebuilding a solid, strong foundation upon which you can create the life you've always dreamt of. And I see here that the new you gives 0 Fs about what anyone has to say, group number 2. You give 0 Fs about whether people like what you're doing or not, because you know that at the end of the day, you need to please yourself first. You need to make yourself proud first. If you put everyone else ahead of yourself, then you will never find that true happiness and feeling of content, and you're not doing that anymore. I see here within Becoming Nobody that the universe is kind of solidifying September as the month in which your revamp starts on a completely fresh slate, right? You have to first become nobody in order to rewrite your story. Now, this card was inspired by a video that I created on here on YouTube, which was inspired by a Ram Dass documentary. Now, do know here within Becoming a Nobody that being able to completely rewrite your story gives you complete power over where you're headed, who you become, and what you put into this world, what you put out here energetically, and also when it comes to your job, your professional life, the value. Next up, we've got No Strings Attached. Now, group number 2, not being attached to any particular outcome or to an old version of yourself, not being attached to a specific identity that you had given yourself at some point in time. That is so freeing and liberating. And the fact that September is going to be a complete revamp of your entire existence and you're not attached to a version of yourself that's maybe outdated, that just really shows that you're taking the mature route. You're making the most of this time of big change and really kind of profound change in your life, sudden change. And you're using this in order to kind of have this feeling of a revelation rather than feeling overwhelmed. Next up, we've got the Two of Wands. So the Two of Wands shows me balance being found again, right? And through boldness, taking back your personal power. So on one hand, you may definitely feel like you're not doing as much physically as you should, but on the other hand, you understand that mental exhaustion, that's a real thing. And there's a big difference between being lazy and being depressed or being overwhelmed or feeling like there's a lot going on for you mentally. That can be sometimes more exhausting really than physical stress and physical tasks. And I see here within the Five of Cups that those who get it and will understand you, and those who don't are going to leave your life. They're going to feel neglected. The people who feel as though they are entitled to know what's going on with you every second, and they don't give you enough breathing room to kind of figure out your own situation, those are the ones that are leaving in September. And I also want you to know here that those types of relationships just are not sustainable for you, group number 2, and it's okay to say goodbye to those, because honestly, you don't really need those. And furthermore, it is quite important for you to not feel on top of everything that's going on, not feel guilty guilty for not communicating with every single person exactly what's going on, because that can be like reliving trauma. That can be like reliving pain, when all you really want to do here in September is just figure out where you're headed next, is just figure out what this spiritual enlightenment moment means for you, rather than already being worried about how to explain it to someone else. You don't need that extra stress. Next up, we've got the Hierophant. Now, the Hierophant is a card that corresponds to the number 5, and the Hierophant in the major arcana is a card of stability and convention. So I do see that to a certain extent there is conformity that you're looking at. So maybe you are going to go to school again, you're going to go back into the education system, or there's just some sort of group identification that you're thinking of going back to that can create stability in your life. And of course, conformity isn't always something bad. It isn't always something negative. I mean, even religion can be something beautiful when it gives people support, when it serves people and gives them stability in a really profound way. And the same goes also for the education system. Now, of course, it isn't for everyone, and not everyone may want to go through all of the hoops to attaining a certain degree, but for some people, it is really valuable to have something to fall back on. And I do see here within the Hierophant that you're kind of considering all of your options in September. And the 8 of Wands shows me here that once you've decided what you want to go for, you're going for it full force, whether that be joining back into some sort of class where you can educate yourself, whether that be getting on the job market and actually looking for something that makes you feel valued and respected, and like all of your creativity and all of your potential is fully looked at and fully appreciated. I see here in the 8 of Wands that this huge change and epiphany that you're having mentally and spiritually during the month of September is going to kind of like light a spark and a fire within you that's undeniably pushing you forward at a whole different pace than you have been experiencing for the past few months. Now, group number 2, don't be afraid of the inertia, which means don't be afraid of the fact that there isn't much movement, that there's some non-action throughout September for you. It is merely preparation for what's next to come. But now make sure that you scroll down into the description box, click your zodiac sign, and you'll be fast forwarded to part 2, which is even more personalized when it comes to your September prediction. But also don't forget to leave a crystal ball emoji below in the comment section to let me and others know that you chose group 2 for the first part of your September readings. But now we'll move into your horoscopes. So click your zodiac sign, and I'll catch you during your zodiac sign's September 2022 reading. Hello, group number 3, and welcome to your September 2022 personal readings. So this is the first part of your prediction, and you decided to go with the Pastel Journey Tarot deck in order to help guide you throughout your month of September. This is a very interesting month in which on September 10th, we've got a full moon in Pisces, and on September 25th, we've got a new moon in Libra. But let's move into your reading, shall we? We've got the 9 of Pentacles as well as the 7 of Wands. Now, group number 3, I can see that you did not come to play during the month of September. Now, the 9 of Pentacles shows me that when it comes to things in the earthly realms, in the material realms, when it comes to your job, you're doing amazingly well. Okay, you're kicking butt, so to say. And I see here within the 7 of Wands that you have a very fearless attitude going for you during the month of September, group 3. So you're not taking no for an answer. You're not backing down when it comes to certain projects and challenges, and it's paying off. That's one thing that I see here within a 9 of Pentacles. You're able to truly kind of enjoy the fruit of your labor while still planting more seeds and creating a future for yourself that makes you feel proud and excited. I see here within the King of Cups that we've got an interesting person in your life who has a lot of water sign energy. So think Cancerian, Scorpio, or Pisces. They're a very mysterious person who is connected to their emotions, and the King of Cups shows me that they have a very masculine dominant type of energy to them as well. Even though the suit of cups is primarily more of a feminine suit, they still have that masculinity to them. And them being a king shows me that they have very authoritative type of energy, caring energy, and that they're most likely older than you and in a sense more mature. We've also got the Queen of Cups here, so I can see that this is a very complementary type of dynamic that we have going on. So this could of course mean a romantic situationship that's coming into your life, but it also could be a work relationship that just really works out amazingly well. So you and a senior manager, a boss, a business partner, and your energies just go together effortlessly and seamlessly. You have a little bit more femininity and a little bit more intuitive energy to you, whereas they are someone who has a little bit more of the masculinity during the month of September. Of course, this can always switch. This doesn't have to remain the same all the time, but we're just talking about the month of September and why you're kicking butt so well, group number 3. Next up, we've got the Queen of Pentacles. Now, the Queen of Pentacles shows me here that there is this guarding of resources that's going on, this nurturing of what already exists. So I do see here that there's a very down-to-earth type of resourceful energy to your life during the month of September. And I see that there could even be a third person involved in your life who is very important when it comes to the success of your professional life. So think, for example, a parent, a mentor, someone who is here to give you great advice and also to keep you rooted in your goals and to constantly remind you of what you're actually trying to accomplish, because sometimes when you're very busy or when things are going well and you're just seeing results, you can get carried away. You can start spending more money than you intended to. You can start feeling a little more confident or even cocky in a way that you wouldn't have if it wasn't for the success that you're experiencing during the month of September. So I do definitely see here that there's a very grounding energy that's holding you in a place of not feeling kind of elevated to the point of arrogance or anything like that. That's not a concern that you have, group number 3. Next up, we've got the Rhodonite. Now, the Rhodonite shows me here that in September, you're going to find it in you to forgive a situation where you were wronged. Now, this could be some unresolved childhood trauma, but it could also be someone who just recently went behind your back and talked smack about you, group number 3. Either way, I see here in the Rhodonite that you're not hung up over it anymore, and you're kind of in a headspace where you're ready to move on and just forget that it even ever happened. The red jasper shows me that you are so enticed by taking action, and that's so much more interesting to you that you're not even spending any time just being in your head and overthinking situations, because you just know that it doesn't serve you anyways. And the amethyst shows me here that your intuition is actually the one pushing you to do this, because your intuition is telling you, hey, there's no point in spending a lot of time and energy overthinking the situation that has come and gone. Where you intuitively really need to lean into, that is your career, that is the relationships that work with the people who have proven to truly care about you and truly want the best for you. Lean into those, and you'll intuitively know what situations that serve you in the long run, group number 3, and where to place your energy and your attention, because honestly, your energy does flow where your attention goes. So don't give people or things the time of day that don't deserve your energy. It's precious, it's a limited resource, and it is connected to your time, which is probably the most precious thing that we all have. And we're often not very aware of it, or we don't live mindfully enough of it. But your guides, group 3, want to point this out to you, want to make sure that you're kind of working through September, reminding yourself of this constantly. Next, with an endless serendipity, it becomes very clear that during the month of September, you will find that a lot of unexpected, amazing surprises are coming towards you that you can just celebrate. And I see within On Fire that when it comes to luck and just really positive surprises you're winning during the month of September, group number 3. So it's almost like this feeling like you won the lottery, like things are just working out so amazingly well that you never want it to end. And I see here within In Touch with Your Body that being healthy and working out, those parts of your life are increasingly important too. Now, of course, it may have to do with like the new boo that we're talking about here within the King of Cups that we spoke about, that is potentially here in a romantic sense, but I do also just see this strong urgency of you wanting to be the best version of yourself and not be hung up on another person, right? Because the more that you have your own life, the more you will find that no matter what happens romantically or in any other area of your life, you're chill about it, because you know that if things don't work out, you still have everything going for you. You were happy before you were in a relationship, and you'll be happy afterwards. Now, you're not attaching your happiness to anyone. You're not giving anyone the power to decide whether you are happy or not. And I see here within unconscious games that there are a lot of people who have tried to play these games on you. Maybe even narcissists who kind of try to feel you out, figure out whether you're someone who could be controlled, someone who could be manipulated, or who could be made to feel as though they had to comply or like they would miss out on something if that narcissist left them. But no, for you, these unconscious games, group number 3, they don't work. And I see that it's almost like you have this built-in narcissism repellent, especially during the month of September, which is a really great thing because, of course, you want to steer clear of anyone who has those types of ulterior underlying motives. Now, group 3, this is the first part of your prediction that I have received for you. I hope that you found it insightful. But now I want to move into the zodiac portion of your reading. So what you get to do now is scroll down into the description box or to the top of the comment section and then click your zodiac sign. And then you'll be fast forwarded to the second part, which adds on to this part and gives you an even more personalized, in-depth September horoscope and prediction. So make sure you do that right now, group number 3, in order to complete your September predictions. And I'll catch you at the click of your zodiac signs timestamp. Hello, group number 4, and welcome to your September 2022 personal readings, predictions, and horoscopes. We're starting off with the first part of your reading. You chose the Gentle Heart Tarot in order to help guide you, group number 4, and after that, we will, of course, delve into your particular zodiac signs September horoscope. But let's get into it, shall we? This is actually the second edition of the Gentle Heart Tarot deck, which I authored and published and created. I'm so proud of this. This is my very first tarot deck that I ever self-published, group number 4. So let's move into your reading. We've got the 6 of Diamonds, we've got the Justice card reversed, we've got the Wheel of Fortune, as well as the Queen of Cups. Now let's talk about it, group number 4. In the 6 of Diamonds, I can see here that there's a lot of generosity that's radiating from you during the month of September. So you're in a very giving mood and spirit. Maybe you're invited to certain festivities or birthday parties. You're bringing gifts. And I see here in the 6 of Diamonds that it's important for you to remember to give as much as is comfortable for you, group number 4. Don't do more. If you feel like you're giving money or gifts or spending time or your energy to the extent that you may become resentful if it isn't reciprocated, then you know you need to take a step back. Then you know you've been giving too much. And I do see here within the Justice card reversed that that balance is what we need to talk about, because justice by default is actually related to the zodiac sign Libra, which is, you know, the sign that has a scale because it's all about balance. And I do see here within the Justice card reversed that your guides in the universe wants to talk to you about diplomacy. And because you're a very kind, nurturing, empathetic person, group number 4, you can sometimes forget to protect yourself and put yourself first. So in the Wheel of Fortune reverse, I can see that sometimes you put yourself in situations where you said yes to something that you later regret or you later maybe do not want to do. And that just shows what type of person that you are. And this is not for you to beat yourself up over the fact that you are kind, group number 4. This is for you to remember to stand up for yourself, to speak up for yourself, and to protect your energy, time, as well as your assets. The Queen of Cups here shows me that you can be kind, nurturing, and giving while at the same time putting yourself first. And this is a type of concept that you're still learning to perfect. But hey, group number 4, it is definitely a lot nicer to be the person who people can reach out to and to be the person who needs to work on putting themselves first more, rather than being the person who is always kind of making themselves the focal point or putting themselves in a position where others find them to be selfish. You've got the opposite problem, which is quote unquote a good problem to have in many situations, because socially you're seen as someone who's dependable and to whom people can always reach out to, and who always has an open ear and is not going to judge. Next up, we've got the Temperance card. Now, the Temperance card corresponds to the sign Sagittarius, and this is a card of the major arcana that's all about balance, okay, and health. So your guides are like screaming at you within this reading, group number 4, to consider your mental and physical health when finding this perfect balance for yourself. Don't neglect the balance between giving and receiving, and also taking time away from other people and not saying yes to too many things. Group number 4, I see that fundamentally you need to learn to say no. You need to learn that there is power in no, that it is a full sentence. You do not need to explain why you're saying no. It is your right to simply say no to requests and to simply say you do not have time. It is also your right to change your mind. But of course, if somebody asks you for something and you say yes, it can be difficult to then later on change that opinion, especially if that ends up not leaving a lot of time for the other person to rearrange themselves. But one tip that I have for you, group number 4, that I often do is if I'm not sure about something, I will simply tell that person I need to check my schedule. I need to go home and think about it, because I like to say yes to something wholeheartedly rather than say yes in the moment and later realize that actually I did not have time, availability, or even the energy to show up. So it's okay for you to take that time and that space. And often, group number 4, let's just be real, people try to pressure you into saying yes to something in the moment because they know you have less time to really think it through. And depending on what it is, to also consider with other people, right? If it's a big financial decision, such as, for example, signing your name on the dotted line for a vehicle, a home, a loan, a credit card, whatever it is, never let anyone make you feel pressured to do something there on the spot, because you may regret it for years to come. Always take your right to go home, read the fine print, figure out what the papers say, figure out what your gut says, talk to other people about it if you want to, so you can really have a full view and spectrum of what's going on. And if someone is not okay with you doing that, you know that's a red flag. You know that they want to use that moment to push you to say yes to something or to sign something that you really shouldn't be signing. Next up, we've got Cancer. So within Cancer, I can see that during the month of September, immersing yourself in your intuition and your emotions is what needs to happen for you, group number 4. There's no other way to say it. It is important for you to connect with the divine feminine, for you to connect with that deep, intuitive and instinctive part of yourself in order to make the best possible decisions moving forward. And I do see here within the 10th house that taking back your personal power is what it's about here during the month of September. We spoke about you saying no and not having to justify, and taking time to think before you say yes to anybody's requests or before you say yes to any type of legal action. Now, the 10th house is the house that is all about your public image, also your legacy, your career. The 10th house is definitely affected and encourages you here to focus on taking time to be very thoughtful and mindful of what you say yes to, and to really enact on the authority that you have over your decisions in your life. So do know here that this is a very, very important month for you to learn to say no, and also when you do say yes, to be happy with the yeses that you dish out. Next up, we've got Scorpio. Investigation is very important. I also want you to know here that with Cancer, we had the number 4. With the 10th house, we had the number 48. Now in Scorpio, we have the number 8. Okay, so we've got 4 and 8 as important numbers. 4 is a number of stability. 8 is a number of abundance. So do know that once you have created that stability and that gut feeling, that core feeling of, yes, this is the right decision for me to make in September, then you know abundance is what will come next, because you can confidently say yes to things. You can confidently move forward, rise above trials and tribulations, group number 4. So do know that with stability comes confidence for you. And Scorpio is a very intense type of energy that is communicating to you to investigate, to definitely take a little fine-tooth comb and peel back the layers of anything that's unclear to you. Next up, we've got Libra. Now, Libra is the sign of balance. We spoke about that with the Justice card reversed. So it did show up reversed first because the universe wanted to point out to you that some things that need to be balanced may be out of balance or out of whack. And so Libra shows us here that as long as you kind of follow the guidance that you're receiving from your guides that you will intuitively have as downloads available during the month of September, you will find that balance, or kind of recreate that balance that you may have been missing. And things will feel as though, okay, you can stand solidly on both feet, you can relax, you can chill, you don't need to overthink, because you know that you've done all of the groundwork, you've done everything that needed to be done, and then you can simply kind of enjoy life from there on out. That's one thing that I can see here. So doing your research, investigating, and then enjoying. Next up, we've got hidden in plain sight. Yes, often the biggest crooks and the biggest situations that you're going to regret are just hidden in plain sight and very easily accessible, right? Whether that be a company sending you some sort of payment plan or credit card that you don't need in the mail, or whether that be a salesperson that lives just around the corner for you who only has their own numbers in mind and will have you sign something that could financially be detrimental to you. And hidden in plain sight, it's important that you become very aware of the fact that in day-to-day life, there's so many situations that you can avoid and that you have been avoiding to fall into that would not serve you, and to also kind of give yourself a pat on the back for the everyday temptations that you simply kind of walk past and that you're strong enough to say no to. And that could also be certain substances, right? That could be drinking too much, eating unhealthy foods all the time. It could be caffeine. There's so many things that you are choosing, that you are deciding to stay away from, and that too deserves celebration, group 4. Next up, we've got your tribe, your vibe. Yes, connect with people who are on the same wavelength. So whether that be about finances, whether that be about life in general, I do see here that in September, the best thing that you can do for yourself on a spiritual and emotional level is to connect with people who have the same type of morals and values that you have. So if you've come to a place in your life where you're no more interested in looking a certain way, or you're no more interested in certain brands, certain status symbols that you know just don't serve you, or that you know are a thing of the past because you've grown out of it, connect with people who are in the same space. And it's okay for you to leave some people behind who are still figuring themselves out and maybe placing some of their identity in material things. I think we all go through different phases, and it's important that we are kind to each other and all give one another time to kind of grow and outgrow certain seasons in our lives, and that we're compassionate when it comes to that, but we're also strong enough and loving enough to ourselves to kind of cut the cord or break ties with people who are encouraging us to regress to past versions of ourselves that we've outgrown. There's absolutely no hard feelings with that. It is just simply you leveling up in September. So group 4, this is the first part of your prediction that I've received for you, and I really hope you enjoyed it and that you found it insightful. Make sure that you leave a little snake emoji below in the comment section to let me and others know that you were here, that you received this first part of your ultra personalized September 2022 readings. So I will now move into your zodiac signs portion of your prediction. So scroll down into the description box or to the top of the comment section, click your zodiac sign, and you'll be fast forwarded to part 2 of your September prediction. So I'll catch you during your zodiac signs reading. Hello, all my beautiful Aries babies, and welcome to the second part of your highly personalized September 2022 horoscopes. So in this part of the prediction, we'll be talking all things Aries. So whether you're an Aries sun, moon, or rising, you've come to the right spot. So I want to get straight into your September predictions. Just hold tight, lean back, and relax as we delve into exactly what's coming towards you during the month of September. So first up, we've got the Ten of Swords, we've got the Knight of Coins. Okay, interesting situation right off the bat, my beautiful Aries babies, as well as the Knave of Coins. So one thing that I can see here in the Ten of Coins, the Knight of Coins, and the Knave of Coins is that there is someone who has earth sign energy that you are asking to level up in your life. Okay, so this is either a Capricorn, a Taurus, or a Virgo. Right now, they're in a situation where maybe they've made some promises or they said that they could do certain things and they haven't lived up to it. And I see that in September, you're holding people accountable, especially the person who's represented in a Knight of Coins and the Knave of Coins. You want them to step up to the plate. So this could either entail a romantic situationship or someone who you're working with or in some way studying with, and you feel as though they are not quite carrying their own weight, and you're speaking up. You're telling them that you're no longer going to accept the bare minimum or what they're willing to give you. You've got your standards and you want to uphold those standards. That's what I see here in connectivity to the Knight of Coins and the Knave of Coins with the Ten of Swords. Furthermore, I also want you to know here in the Ten of Swords that if people are not willing to step up to the plate, I see that you're done. You're not giving any chances anymore, my beautiful Aries babies. You're ruled by Mars, which is a planet of assertiveness. And that is exactly the type of energy that I see you putting out there during the month of September. Some really strong Aries types of qualities. Next up, within the Six of Cups, I see that you're very unafraid to be assertive and direct and also very energetic because you've got family and friends who you can count on, who you can rely on. The Six of Cups shows me that there is a lot of this type of innocence that surrounds your decisions because you're never making cutthroat decisions to hurt other people or anything like that, my beautiful Aries babies. You make those decisions because you know that you have to respect yourself, and respecting yourself also entails your boundaries. It also means that you hold people accountable and that you have standards for whoever is allowed to access your energy and your personal space. And in the Six of Cups, I see that people understand that. I see that nobody is going to take it in any negative manner. And the people who simply cannot live up to the expectation or the standard, they are going to fade away during the month of September. I see here within the Seven of Swords that you're definitely also being called to watch out when it comes to feedback from other people and how people talk about one another. So you want to stay away from people who gossip a lot, who talk a lot about other people without giving compliments. That's one thing that I see here in the Seven of Swords. You're meant to be very careful when it comes to whom you share your secrets with. So try to keep things to yourself during the month of September, especially if you've got some big plans or some things that you're excited about. Only share it with those who you know are truly trustworthy, my beautiful Aries babies, because there are some people who want to kind of slip into your position, whether that be at work or romantically. Think of an ex of someone who you're seeing, just waiting for that moment where they can kind of instigate something or where they can try to reignite a spark that isn't there anymore. That's what I see here that you need to watch out for, and why you're here receiving this reading, because you are being called to become aware of this. I see here within the 8th house that this is an important part of September for you. The 8th house, in case you didn't know, by default rules Scorpio. And this is the house within your birth chart that's all about death, transformation, and also things like joint finances. So I do see here that the month of September is going to be a pretty intense month. This is going to be a month in which you feel as though there's some little rebirths and big changes that are taking place, and maybe also a complete restructuring of your own personal financial situation and what you want to invest time and money into and what you feel is not really worth it. Next up within the star, I can see that you're very hopeful for this new approach to bear fruit in the future. So think of, for example, changing from a retirement plan that you once had to investing in real estate, or changing from certain stocks to a different type of investment that you're building up, that you're trying to make a habit or make a reality for yourself. Oh, okay, we have another card that turned around while shuffling, which is the Six of Swords. Yes, you're leaving something in the past that just didn't work for you. So you may have thought to yourself that a certain idea financially was a good thing for you to do. You may have thought that maybe you should save, maybe you should invest in these insurances and just these different structures that were sold to you as something that would be beneficial, but you're kind of realizing that it's maybe not for you. So there is this restructuring of your own personal kind of future financial plan that's happening during the month of September. You're doing your research. So this is a really good thing. It shows that you're planning for the best possible outcome in the future. Next up, we've got the Queen of Wands. Now, the Queen of Wands here shows me that your fire sign energy of this assertiveness that we spoke about and being unafraid is coming through by you also having laser focus on the things that you desire. So there's nothing that can distract you. There's nothing that's going to keep you from reaching your goals during the month of September. And I see here within the Five of Wands that any competition that comes around you is quote unquote going to be eliminated. All my Aries babies, there's no other way to say it. You're not afraid to stand up for yourself, to fight, and also to beat the competition, to take on any challenge that's being put your way. And I do see here that you have a very intimidating type of air and edge to you during the month of September. So there won't be many people who are going to try to cross certain boundaries with you in this upcoming month. We've got the smoky quartz for you next. Now, I love this crystal not only because it is a highly purifying crystal, but the fact that this showed up within your September prediction does show us here that you're letting go of certain things. We spoke about that when it comes to your old mindset, when it came to your future and your financial planning and so on. You're letting go of that without any remorse, without any type of negative associations or feelings whatsoever. And I see here within the aquamarine that you are completely okay with the fact that sometimes in life things change. Things don't always stay the same forever, and you're cool with that. You understand that in order to be innovative and in order to kind of go with the times, you also need to be able to give up old ideas or kind of just things that are outdated, right? Whether that is giving up certain type of media that's outdated, certain ways of living. I mean, you don't want to be that person in 2022 who's still buying DVDs. That's the type of vibe that I see here. You're ready to move on. You don't need to cling on to what you were used to. You're happy to jump into some fresh adventures and also take action. I love this card from the Wild Muse Oracle. And take action, I can see here that you're feeling free and liberated, and also your body feels amazing to you during the month of September, my beautiful Aries baby. So enjoy being in tune with your physical body. Enjoy the fact that you're able to take action no matter how able-bodied you are. I can see that in September, it's going to be a month where your body really feels like it has a lot of strength and energy within it. So make use of that. And I do see here within 0 F's given that paying as little attention to the external noise that may be surrounding you is the best decision that you can make for yourself, my beautiful Aries babies. So September is all up to you. It's all here for you. September is here to serve you. That's what I see within your September horoscope. And it's important that you take the opportunity, don't let it pass by, and don't overthink things. As an Aries being ruled by Mars, you're energetic, you're pioneering, you're outgoing. Be your best Aries self. That's what we want to see from you during the month of September. So all my beautiful Aries babies, this is the reading that I received for you. I hope that you enjoyed it and that you found it insightful. Don't forget to check out my tarot decks below. It's all linked in the description box. Know that I'm sending you so much love, and I can't wait to catch up with you during one of my upcoming predictions. Hello, my beautiful Taurus babies, and welcome to your September 2022 predictions and horoscopes. So we'll talk all things Taurus during the second part of your prediction. I hope that you enjoyed choosing one of the 4 groups that I introduced you to during the beginning of this video, because now we're going to add on to that reading. So it's almost like you're receiving your very own free personal pick a card to tarot reading right here on my channel, because as you know, that's what my channel is here for, to provide you with value and all of that for free, for fun, for us to bond and see what the universe has to say. Oh, okay. Let's see what we've got for you, my beautiful Taurus babies. We've got Justice, we've got the Queen of Wands, as well as the Knight of Wands. Okay, so I see a lot of fiery energy. That is what the suit of Wands represents. So the Queen of Wands shows us your assertiveness and femininity, whereas the Knight of Wands shows us here that you also have a very rebellious side to you. Now, connecting that to the Justice card does inform us that September is going to be a month of balance, where on one hand you are nurturing, you're kind, you're letting people know what you need, but on the other hand, in the Knight of Wands, if you feel as though there is an opportunity here that you need to take, you're going to go for it, regardless of whether anyone else is ready, anyone else agrees with it. So you have that balance between giving people and situations chances and opportunities to figure themselves out and make up their own mind, but at the same time, you're not going to let amazing situations and opportunities pass you by just because you're trying to give everyone enough time. Furthermore, within the Justice card, which is a major arcana card, this is actually a card of diplomacy, which definitely shows that you are giving everything an appropriate amount of time, but at the same time, it's like when it comes to business, that's business, my beautiful Taurus babies. If you've got to hurt feelings in order to get to your bag, you will. And there are no hard feelings there. It's not like you're trying to do that, but if you need to, I mean, at the end of the day, you got to do what you got to do. I see here within the 3 of Cups that people actually really respect that in you, that you are a very business-minded individual who is able to discern between just fun situations and situations in which you need to put your foot down and get things done. People don't take it personally, especially those who know you well, my beautiful Taurus babies. So don't worry about stepping over people's toes during the month of September when making decisions financially and when it comes to your business. Now, the Page of Cups shows me here that when it comes to your love life and your emotional well-being, there is some excitement. There are some really thrilling factors that are taking place during the month of September, and you're really trying to balance it out. I can see here that in connectivity to Justice, you're trying to find that balance between fun, infatuation, love, and kind of not becoming too love blind, right? And still thinking practically, still thinking in a very grounded way, because as an earth sign and as a Taurus especially, you're actually a fixed sign of the zodiac, which means that you're pretty resistant to change. You're very stable and reliable. But at the same time, that can really scare you when you're being put in a situation where your heart is kind of leading and your rational mind is struggling to figure out why these feelings are taking place. I see here within the Queen of Pentacles that what is best for you to embrace is this very down-to-earth as well as big-hearted side of you that you have. As a Taurus baby, you're definitely someone who is caring and nurturing, especially to those whom you really care about and who have proven themselves to you. So the Queen of Pentacles just gives us this little piece of advice for you to chill, to relax, to also enjoy your heart taking the lead sometimes, and to not overthink things, my beautiful Taurus babies. You've got enough to think about when it comes to the material realms. You've got enough to think about when it comes to business. Now let your personal life simply be fun and enjoy whatever is going on. Next up, we've got the fluorite. Now the fluorite shows me here that finding peace is a thing that you're figuring out more and more for yourself, and you find peace within, not on an external plane, which definitely speaks to the part of you that's very mature and the part of you that isn't afraid to kind of self-reflect, right? And figure out exactly what areas of yourself that you can maybe improve in and what areas that you're happy with. And that gives you peace because you know you're not putting on an act, you're simply being yourself. I see here within the Zodiac that speaking your truth is a big thing in September, and anyone who has kind of done you wrong or who you feel you're not in agreement with, you will speak up when it comes to your opinion, and you'll do so in a very loving type of nurturing way. I see that here in the Queen of Pentacles. So if there is a family member or a friend or someone whom you're working with, they rubbed you the wrong way, they maybe did something that you both know they shouldn't have done, they said some things that were less than agreeable, you're not going to call them out in a way that makes them defensive, but you are going to sit them down and talk to them, my beautiful Taurus babies. You are going to give people a little piece of your mind. And I do see here that in September, this kind of brings this air of authority to you and this air of fearlessness. Within hidden in plain sight, there are some things here in September that you totally didn't notice were even a part of your life. I want to figure out more about this situation. Let's bring some runes into your reading as well, so we can see what's hidden in plain sight for you. So let's see what Spirit has to say with these crystal runes. What do we have here? Let's identify this little baby. So within this rune, we actually have a Canas. Let me zoom in for you. Here we go. Now, Canas corresponds to the letter K, and this is actually the rune of knowledge, inspiration, and creativity. It shows that there's some sort of spark and some sort of fire that is igniting within you. So for all my beautiful Taurus babies, I do see here within Hidden in Plain Sight that even though you have been thinking to rack your brain around an idea for a long time and to come up with something great, such as a new business model, such as a new idea on how you can be more productive, how you can be healthier. I see that the best ideas are the simplest ones. You're becoming very clear when it comes to that during the month of September, and there are some amazing sources of inspiration that are right in front of you, that are hidden in plain sight. It could be your surroundings, it could be someone you hang out with every single day, it could simply be staring at the sky and being inspired by the different colors, by the clouds, the shapes. It could just be taking a walk in nature not far from where you live, and that already be all the inspiration that you need, just hidden in plain sight, just within the little things of everyday life. So don't underestimate those, and don't underestimate how healthy it can be for you, especially during the month of September, to disconnect. So I do see here that it is an important aspect of September for you to pull the plug, quite literally speaking, step away from your electronic devices, at least for a little bit. It doesn't have to be forever. It doesn't have to be a full month's detox. I'm not talking about that. I just mean taking some time where you don't check your phone, where you're not on your emails, where you're not watching anything, and where you're just dealing with some emotional baggage that needs to be dealt with, especially if you've got some trauma, some insecurities that you've realized are lingering or that are just becoming apparent to you. The only way that you can really work on emotional baggage is if you disconnect from distractions, right? That's if you give yourself space to deal with the emotional baggage. And that's what I see that you're being called to do during the month month of September. So all of my beautiful Taurus babies, this is the second part to your September prediction that I've received for you. I hope that you enjoyed this highly personalized format of video. I hope you enjoy how interactive that I try to make my channel. If you do, then don't forget to give this video a thumbs up as well as subscribe. And I'd like to thank you for being here and for spending this divine time and space with me. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll speak to you during one of my upcoming predictions. Hello, all my beautiful Gemini babies, and welcome to part 2 of your highly personalized September horoscopes. So we're going to talk all things Gemini within the second part of your prediction, and I hope that you enjoyed choosing from the first 4 groups that I introduced you to during the start of this video. But now let's jump into it, my beautiful Gemini babies. We've got the Queen of Coins, we've got True Love, as well as the High Priestess. So let's start off with the Queen of Coins. So I can see a little bit of a conservative approach to your finances during the month of September. And that's maybe really good, especially if you've been on vacation or you've splurged a little more than you usually would. That's great for you to kind of pull back a little bit from spending excessive amounts of money and kind of focusing more on your inner workings and your inner world. As I see here within the High Priestess, that what we have is some non-action. What we have is you becoming aware of what's happening subconsciously, or at least trying to become aware of it, and also seeing the potential that you have not tapped into just yet within your life. And I do also see here within True Love that the more you kind of focus on your internal scope and your internal world, the more you're actually attracting a type of love that is meant to last for a lifetime. So whether you are in fact single or you're in a committed relationship, I can see here that spending time self-reflecting and spending time truly figuring out where your values lie and what is the most important factor in life to you besides financial stability or just material things in general, the more attractive that you become in a romantic and sensual sense as well. So I do also see that within True Love, of course, if you're single, September may be a very successful month when it comes to romantic relationships for you. Next up, we've got the Six of Cups. So I do see some celebrations going on here when it comes to very emotional dates. So someone's birthday, for example, or someone celebrating a wedding. And I do see here within the Six of Cups that you are meant to be a part of that. So the Six of Cups also shows me here that there's a lot of goodwill when it comes to this situation. So you really want for other people's love and relationships to work, all my beautiful Gemini babies. And you're literally just here in September to celebrate, to enjoy. There is nothing like bad vibes anywhere near you. You're all about simply enjoying the moment, and you've kind of moved on from toxic relationships and connections overall. Then we've got opposition as well as Gemini. So this is very interesting. As a Gemini baby, of course, seeing Gemini show up within your reading just shows how much that this prediction and horoscope is meant for you. As a Gemini, you are the type of sign that is very versatile, you're communicative, and furthermore, you are an air sign who is also very creative and adventurous. You're a mutable sign of the zodiac, which means that you're flexible, you're resourceful, you're adaptable. No matter what life throws at you, you're able to figure it out for yourself. And I see here within opposition that there's definitely like 2 polarizing forces within you that is becoming very apparent to you during the month of September. So with these 2 different forces, it could be that you, for example, have a side to yourself that is very adventurous, but then at the same time, you're also very rational and you don't want to make any kind of rash decisions. So being a Gemini means that you are ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is the planet of your thinking process as well as communication, travel, and again, the rational mind. So having a very flexible side to you, but also a very rational, conservative side, that can sometimes cause confrontation and a little bit of friction within. So if you're ever feeling super anxious or kind of in a sense not grounded and not rooted, my beautiful Gemini babies, this may be the explanation as to why you feel that way. And the solution to this is simply figuring out how you can balance these different sides to yourself out in a way that not only suits you, but also soothes you. I see here within Fighting Spirit that it's important that you don't give up on finding a calm space. As a Gemini, you're maybe often a little bit all over the place. You are someone who is very much in their head a lot, so you can overthink and get anxious. You're definitely a very intelligent sign, and being so quick and witty can sometimes actually mean that you struggle with a lot of mental kind of, not illnesses necessarily, but just challenges, right? Because mental stimulation and intelligence is not only a part of who you are, but it's also important in your relationships in life. So sometimes it can feel as though you're doomed to be quote unquote unhappy or anxious because you're someone who is so quick and who is so intelligent. I see here within decluttering that the best thing you can do is really just learn to empty your mind. During the month of September, doing plenty of meditation will help you to recuperate and also declutter from everything that's stressing you out or that's maybe making you feel on edge and really anxious. And you have to fight through that uncomfortable stage of meditation, all my beautiful Gemini babies. So that uncomfortable phase and stage where you feel as though you're not doing it right, maybe meditation isn't working for you and your mind is wandering to all types of spaces. That's completely normal, especially if you're just starting off with meditation. So know that it takes time to declutter. Just as it takes time for you to declutter actual physical items, it takes time for you to declutter things mentally as well. But the Shungite confirms that detoxing your life is where it's at during the month of September, my beautiful Geminis. There are some things that you can let go of and that you need to let go of in order to be able to feel light and good about life and to be able to focus on what's really important, which is your true love that you have here during the month of September. The clear quartz shows me that things, of course, will become crystal clear once you've decluttered, once you've gotten rid of things that are clouding your judgment and your mind. And decluttering doesn't just need to mean getting rid of things physically. It could also be mental clutter, okay? If some worries have been living in your head rent-free of like emails you need to send, calls you need to make, but you don't like being on the phone or you don't want to confront those things, September is the month to clean up, my beautiful Gemini babies. Know that often these things are built up to be way bigger in our heads than they actually are in real life. And remind yourself that if you're anxious to make a phone call or send an email or follow up on some sort of administrative task, that it literally cannot harm you. It cannot hurt you. It is just in your mind. It is not something that can physically inflict pain on you. It is just what you've built it up to be mentally, and you can take your power back and take the power away from the things that seem daunting, big, and scary. You have that control and that power. The rose quartz shows me here that it's important for you to bring very loving energy to yourself, especially if you've been procrastinating some things for a long time and you feel a little ashamed, even if it's just shame that you have in front of yourself because nobody else knows that you're struggling with this. Open up your heart to remind yourself that we all go through this. You're not alone, my beautiful Gemini babies, and it's nothing to feel ashamed of. You're confronting things in September that needed to be confronted. I see within the Phantom Quartz that very quickly you will learn to embrace this change, and September actually brings an increase in self-confidence the more you face things that are uncomfortable, the more you face situations that seemed confrontational, where you were at opposition, but the more you kind of streamline all of these situations and face them head on, the more you will actually find that being uncomfortable can become comfortable because you're realizing, wow, this is actually pushing me forward. This is actually bringing me closer to my goals, desires, and aspirations. So all my beautiful Gemini babies, this is the horoscope zodiac portion to your September prediction that I've received for you. I hope that you found it insightful, fun, and intriguing. Let me know below in the comment section. And if you loved this interactive two-part prediction, don't forget to give this video a big old thumbs up. It greatly helps push my videos and my channel out there into the algorithm so more beautiful Gemini babies and babies of the zodiac in general can receive their September prediction. So thank you for being here and for spending this divine time and space with me, and I'll catch you during one of my upcoming readings. Hello, all my fellow Cancerians, and welcome to your September 2022 horoscope. We'll talk all things Cancer during the second and even more personalized part of your prediction. I hope that you enjoyed the first part of your reading where you could choose from the 4 groups during the intro. Let me know below in the comment section, and of course don't forget to thumbs up this video to push it out into the algorithm. But now let's move into your reading. So we have these cards that kind of turn themselves around as I was shuffling. So these are meaningful, and we're going to get into these to figure out what's coming towards you during the month of September, but we'll of course also be adding other decks into the mix. So first up, I can see here within the best case scenario and hope on the horizon that September is going to go amazingly well for you, my beautiful Cancerians. And I'm so happy to hear that because in case you didn't know, I'm a fellow Cancerian. Sun, represent by leaving a Cancer emoji below in the comment section. But do know here within the best case scenario, we've also got the master number 33. So if you continuously see the synchronicity 333 during the month of September, know that you're on the right path towards the best case scenario. So watch out for those numbers in September. Write them down if you have a schedule, a journal, so you don't forget this. Next up, we've got perfect moments as well as prioritizing reflection. So I see here that the more you kind of focus on reflecting on everything that's going well in your life and everything that you have done right, the more you will actually find that you are experiencing these quote-unquote perfect moments during the month of September, because there is no feeling or sensation of lack. You're actually just focused on your dreams and what is to come next. So in Jar of Dreams, I do see here that there are plenty of dreams that you had maybe bottled up, but they're bubbling back to the surface during the month of September, and you're feeling confident to potentially approach these dreams from a completely new viewpoint, standpoint, and perspective, my beautiful Cancerians. And the increase in confidence that you're receiving through the work that you're doing, through prioritizing reflection, and the fact that September is going well and smoothly for you, that is all pushing you to be confident to approach different dreams that you had that you thought were maybe already bygones, or you thought you were too old for, or you thought at one point, maybe I can't accomplish this. I see that in September, you're definitely entering a space where you're able to focus on some of these dreams and refocus on them if you kind of put them into a cupboard and closed that cupboard and thought you wouldn't revisit it ever again. I see here within sacrifices that, of course, you also understand that with much that's given to you also comes a lot of responsibility, and there may be a lot of sacrifices that need to be made, my fellow Cancerians. So you're not afraid of sacrifices, and through self-reflection, you're also figuring out how you can maybe bring certain sacrifices into play that you're more okay with than others. So, for example, if you would like to earn a certain amount of money, you may be more willing to make sacrifices when it comes to spending time with friends rather than with family. Or maybe you're more willing to sacrifice time that you would have spent watching TV, for example, in order to work and accomplish the goals that you have when it comes to your professional life. So you are well aware that everything comes with a responsibility or a sacrifice or a price, and you're willing to pay that price, and you're willing to figure out exactly how you want to pay that price. You're not waiting for life to choose the path for you. You are actively choosing during the month of September. I see here within the World, which is actually one of the most favorable cards of the major arcana within the tarot. So this is the Disney Villains Tarot deck. This is one of my favorites, my beautiful Cancerians, and this is not sponsored. I just purchased this deck myself, but I just wanted to explain to you why this card doesn't look as positive as it is. It is because it is from a villain-themed tarot deck, but rest assured, the World is one of the most favorable cards of the tarot. This is a card that by default corresponds to Saturn. Saturn is the planet of structure, of responsibility and organization, and also maturity. And I want you to know here in the World that fulfillment and feeling really grounded and safe and secure is what we have for the month of September for you, my beautiful Cancerians. And as a Cancerian, stability is like talking dirty to you, right? Stability, reliability, grounded and practical, loyal energy. I mean, these words are most likely part of your love language. These are words that are most likely very seductive to you. So I do see here in the world that that is what you've got coming for you in September, which adds to this month being a really favorable one. The Ace of Wands shows me that your creativity is on an all-time high. It's like you have this fresh beginning, this fresh enthusiastic beginning of a new creative force that's coming to you. So being really obsessed with a hobby, with a certain topic that you're discovering in September is highly likely. And I see that you're going to channel a lot of your time and your energy into learning a lot about this topic and this area of life. I see within the Hierophant that it's kind of a bit of an introvert type of topic. I see within the Hierophant that it's all about kind of education for you during the month of September, and you're studying by yourself. You're educating yourself in different areas of life that you know will serve you in the long run. And the Hierophant just also shows me here that it puts you ahead of a lot of your peers, because while a lot of your peers are maybe more focused on other things in life, which is not to judge them, but maybe they're more focused on going out, or they're more focused on, watching TV or doing things like that. I see here in the Hierophant that you're actually more focused on educating yourself, and that puts you kind of ahead of the game in certain situations in life. Now, the Two of Coins shows me that balance and flexibility is on your side, and it shows that you're having a lot of fun here, juggling self-reflection and juggling dreams and actions. So not simply resting in hope and the fact that September is going amazingly well. You're not just going to rest in that and not do anything else. You're actually still putting in work. You're still putting in a lot of time and effort to see how you can push things to the next level and how you can push your own personal boundaries and limits. And you're not just stopping at things being great in September. Now, the Three of Swords does show me here that there is some heartache that's surrounding you, but from what we've received within your reading, my fellow Cancerians, this doesn't seem to be your heartache or your heartbreak. This seems to be someone else's. And I see with the Hierophant that you're kind of playing the supportive role. So if you have a friend or a family member whose partner you never really liked, there is a breakup that's happening around you in the month of September, and in connectivity to the best case scenario, you know that it's for the better. You're of course not going to tell your friend or family member this, and you're not going to rub more salt in the wound, but at the end of the day, you're kind of happy that this relationship and this connection came to an end, because you saw that it was toxic, it wasn't serving the person who you were close to, and it didn't have longevity. So you're kind of happy that it's done with, and you can just console your friend, your family member, and kind of help them on their next path, on their next journey. Now, the Death card is actually not a card to be afraid of. Well, I feel like depicted in the Pastel Journey Tarot, which is actually one of my tarot decks, in case you're completely new here, it's not a scary looking card, is it? And the Death card, contrary to popular belief, does not actually indicate literal death. The Death card is connected to the sign of Scorpio, which is also a fellow water sign, and it is the sign of rebirth, of also sensuality. And Scorpio is a very intense type of sign. It shows transformation. It shows completely fresh and new beginnings, and leaving things in the past that just simply can't thrive anymore. So there is an ending, some sort of elimination that's taking place. We have that here with this breakup that we spoke about, but I also see for you personally, there is a transitional phase that's beginning during the month of September, most likely more towards the end, as we are now towards the end of your reading, my fellow Cancerians. So that shows us that in the next upcoming months, transformations are happening for you that are maybe unexpected, but they're most likely going to serve you. That's what I see here from the reading we've received. So all of my beautiful Cancerians, this is your September horoscope. I hope that you enjoyed this super interactive, highly personalizable pick a card tarot reading. Don't forget to leave a comment below and a Cancer emoji below in the comment section, and to like this video. It greatly helps push it out into the algorithm so more fellow Cancerians and signs of the zodiac can receive their September predictions. So I'd like to thank you for being here and for spending this divine time and space with me, and I can't wait to speak to you during one of my upcoming predictions. Hello, all my beautiful Leo babies, and welcome to the second, even more personalized part of your September prediction. I hope you enjoyed part one of this Pick a Card tarot reading, where you got to pick from the 4 groups that I introduced you to during the start of this video. But now let's talk all things Leo, shall we? And figure out exactly what's happening in September for all of my beautiful, warm-hearted Leo babies. So first up, we've got the best case scenario. So within the best case scenario and the master number 33, one thing I can see for all my beautiful Leo babies in September is that this is going to be a very favorable month for you. Things are going to be going your way, and a lot of situations are going to result in best case scenarios. Think of getting a promotion, passing an important test, a relationship going exactly the way you wanted it to, in a sense that makes you feel like this is the best case scenario that's coming to fruition. And furthermore, I can see here in every step counts that you're able to experience this very favorable September because you celebrated every little step along the way, because you gave yourself space and time to celebrate your big wins, but also your little ones. All my beautiful Leo babies, something very interesting that we have here is the master number 33 in connectivity to the best case scenario, and then the master number 22 when it comes to every step counts here in the Wild Muse Oracle Deck. So having these 2 master numbers show up definitely shows that the energies during the month of September are amplified for all my beautiful Leo babies. This is a great month for you to take risks, for you to try new things, for you to invest, as the master number 22 is the master number of balance, of flexibility, and the master number 33 shows that you are becoming a great inspiration and teacher to other people, and to step into this generosity and power that lies within you. As a Leo, you're also more confident than other signs on average, and this is the type of strength that you are being called to use during the month of September. Next up, we've got the moon. Now in the moon, I can see that you're very much connected to your divine feminine and your feelings. I can see that you're feeling very sensitive during the month of September, so I wouldn't be surprised if you cry some happy tears, as we do have things going your way, and you feeling so connected to your inner being and who you are at the core is definitely making you feel like your emotions are just running through you on an all-time high, and like you can feel every little thing, whether it's joy, whether it's fear, whether it's excitement. It's like you're super connected to everything that has to do with your emotional realm. Next up, we've got Mercury. Now, Mercury is moving through in a sense that makes you feel very much like your rational mind and your thinking process is invaluable and very important during the month of September. I mean, of course it is important every single month, but here within Mercury in September, I definitely see that for you, in order to have such an awesome month where things are going great, where everything is turning out in the best case scenario, you definitely need to kind of put mind over matter, and to remind yourself here to listen to your gut feeling and to any messages that you feel are coming through for you. Also paying close attention to synchronicities such as the number 22 and 33, and allowing for those to help guide you throughout your month. Now, the Page of Swords shows me that you're adopting a beginner mindset in many ways, and you're not afraid to learn something from the ground up. And that is most likely also a big reason why September is so successful for you, because you're not afraid to begin from a place where others maybe feel like they're ahead of. You're never afraid to go back in time and to learn something from the ground up, whereas others would maybe turn up their nose and feel as though they already know it, they've already learned it. You're eternally a student for life, and you're the type of person who isn't afraid to kind of go back, trace back steps in order to see where they made a mistake. I see here within the Empress that this is a really feminine and very attractive quality that you have within you. Furthermore, the Empress is also a major arcana card that shows fertility and motherhood as well as abundance. So September is definitely a month in which fertility is high around you, and you're also attracting people who are looking for a partner that seems to be fertile and that seems to be ready to settle down. So in the Empress, know that you've got the total package vibe about you, and that it's almost as though you're glowing and radiating available energy. Whether you are single or in a relationship, people are picking up the sense of wanting to be around your nurturing, giving, caring type of vibe. Next up, we've got the Four of Coins. Now, the Four of Coins shows me here that whatever you receive, my beautiful Leo babies, keep it to yourself and keep it safe. Try not to overspend. Try not to break the bank. I see that during the month of September, you're really able to collect that coin and store it away and start to amass a nice little nest egg situation and a nice little situation in which you feel secure financially speaking. We've also got the King of Cups and the Queen of Swords. So there are two different people that are of importance here during the month of September. For one, we've got the King of Cups, which is the King of Water sign. Think to yourself, Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancerian energy. They're older than you. They have established themselves in life and in their career, and they can be a little bit manipulative. That's one thing about the King of Cups. They can be a little bit toxic, so don't listen to them when they're kind of trying to get you to follow in their footsteps when it comes to spending money and so on. I see that the Queen of Swords is really more the voice of reason, who you want to listen to. This person has strong feminine energy. They may identify as a woman, but what really kind of is telling about this person who is influencing your life in September is that they're very diplomatic. They're unafraid to tell you the honest truth, and they're experienced. They're intellectual. They're the type of person who knows how to invest and who knows how to deal with financial matters in a way that has longevity, in a way that will create long-term gratification. So listen to the Queen of Swords. Even though the King of Cups is talking a big game, the King of Cups is not walking their talk. So beware of that when it comes to taking in another person's advice. Next up, we've got the Bloodstone for you, my beautiful Leo babies. Get up and get moving. I see that September is an ideal month for you to get back into your workout routine. Not trying to call you out, my beautiful Leo babies, but if you've fallen off of the workout train, know that you're being called to hop back on it. It's waiting. It's right there at the station for you. And I see within the Azurite that it's time for you to get laser focused when it comes to physical activities, when it comes to getting your blood pumping and flowing. And it doesn't matter how physically capable you are, you can do things within your range of motion, within your comfort zone, while still pushing yourself a little out of what your comfort zone is. Don't compare your accomplishments, especially physically, to anyone else other than who you were the day prior to today, my beautiful Leo babies, and you will be on the right track to a healthier, happier you that of course may also be looking into your own family situation expanding. As in the Empress, I do definitely see a little bit of motherly feelings and vibes that are circulating around you energetically speaking. For you, September is the best case scenario, and it's important for you to continue celebrating every single step that you take forward and to celebrate yourself, my beautiful Leo babies. Be proud of everything you've accomplished, and don't be afraid to be that creative leader that we all know that you are. So my beautiful Leo babies, this is part 2 of your prediction. I hope that you enjoyed it. Leave a lion emoji below in the comment section to let me and others know that you were here and that you enjoyed this highly personalized prediction. Furthermore, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really helps my channel and allows me to continue to create these monthly predictions so you can be as best prepared as possible every single month of the year. So thank you for being here, my beautiful Leo babies, and I'll speak to you during one of my upcoming predictions. Hello, all my beautiful Virgo babies, and welcome to your second part of your September horoscope. I hope that you enjoyed part 1, which you got to pick from during the intro of this video, but now we're going to move into all things Virgo related for the month of September. So let's get straight into your reading so we can figure out exactly what's coming towards you. We already have some cards that want to speak. We've got the Seven of Wands as well as the Hermit. So I do see here within the Hermit and the Seven of Wands that you can climb the ladder in your career and in your personal life by taking time away from the world, really going into hermit mode. The Hermit is a card of the major arcana in the tarot that is a card of introspection and solitude. So taking time away from other people, being alone, kind of just unplugging from social media as well, and you will find that all of a sudden there are so many different paths and ways that you can move forward that become clear and apparent to you as soon as you kind of zone out from any distractions and from everyone else's opinion and voice that just isn't serving you. I see here within the High Priestess that a big part of September for you is also just non-action, non-confrontation. So even if someone is trying to get under your skin, respectfully ignoring them, respectfully moving on to the next thing, only focusing on useful interactions. And I see that this is definitely going to drive some people crazy. The fact that you're not reacting to their shenanigans, to their rudeness, to them kind of trying to get under your skin. That's where I can definitely see here in the High Priestess that you're holding your own, and there's no one who you're giving the power to get you out of character. All my beautiful Virgo babies. We've got the Two of Pentacles next. You're all about balance. You're all about flexibility too. I see that your work schedule is becoming more and more flexible because you too are okay with the fact that flexibility is something you can create in many ways. You just have to be solution oriented. Depending on where you work, there may be some tasks that you can do remotely or from a different space, and sometimes you have to fight for it a little bit. But I see here within the Two of Pentacles that you're finding a good way to implement more work-life balance and make more time for family, children, nieces, nephews, animals. You get it, the entire family situation. I see here within the Magician, my beautiful Virgo babies, that you're stepping outside of your shell, and you're definitely putting yourself in a position of power and in a position of just saying what it is that you want, of communication, of standing up for yourself, of being direct, upfront, and a leader, and the type of person who isn't afraid to also say no. The Magician is also a card that tells us that you're someone who is very conscious of their surroundings and their capabilities, and you're using that consciousness in order to take full effect of your personal power, in order to use all of the natural capabilities and abilities that you were born with to the next level and to use them to your advantage. As I see here within the Five of Wands, that there is a very competitive edge to September. So maybe it's promotion time, maybe it's time for people to get fired around you, maybe you know it is decision time in your family or in your love life, and you're going to have to decide what happens next. And one thing about you here in September is that you're not going to let anyone get ahead of you so easily. You've got this fighting spirit about you, my beautiful Virgo babies. And as a Virgo, you're usually a little bit more kind of withdrawn, if you will. You're very grounded. But I do see here that when it comes to September, you're not afraid to do things differently. You're not afraid to be super resourceful and kind of put yourself ahead of the competition and ahead of the game. Yes, goal setting. That is exactly what I'm trying to communicate. But the universe and your guides always know exactly what card you need to receive. So this is a card of the Wild Muse Oracle Deck. I see here within goal setting that this is exactly what you're doing in September, and why your vibe is so fearless and why you have this energy of not playing around. In goal setting, I can see that you're physically writing down your goals, which is helping you to manifest them. And I see within time to move on that you're also realizing that there are some relationships and maybe also some old goals that you have to move on from that are not really serving you moving forward. So goal setting and time to move on definitely shows me here that you're reevaluating what matters most to you and what you want to prioritize in this lifetime. Next up, we've got updates to your system, my beautiful Virgo babies. So I do see here that going into hermit mode is giving you this very fresh new perspective and outlook. So you're most likely also going to watch some documentaries and read blogs and just do a lot of self-discovery that really helps you understand who you are and gives you updates to your system. So that could be figuring out things that you like sensually, kinks, for example. That could also be different hobbies that you're really into, and being open to exploring these sides of yourself that you didn't even know existed and that you didn't even know know were maybe a part of your future. So this is a very interesting month for you, all my Virgos. And now the Eight of Coins shows me here that the more you kind of retract from the world, the more invaluable and indispensable you become at your place of employment or just in the family hierarchy in general, because you're growing in wisdom, you're growing in learnings and teachings that you have to offer. So people are more afraid to lose you. And it's funny because it's almost like the less attention that you give people in situations, the more they think that they cannot lose you and they need to do everything in their power to keep you around, and that you are truly such a valuable member of the family and of the community that you must be protected. I see here within the Four of Coins that you have a lot more time available during the month of September to plan ahead. And I do also see that with more time comes a little bit more temptation to maybe also spend more frivolously, which the Four of Coins actually is trying to communicate to you to be a little bit more possessive, to take control and take charge of your finances and not allow people to talk you into taking any financial risks or purchasing things that you don't need, and being really steadfast in that, because there are bigger, better investments coming later down the line, and you want to make sure that you've got your finances in check and in order so you can access those at that given point in time. So all of my beautiful Virgo babies, this is the reading that I received for you. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure that you leave a little clock emoji below in the comment section to let me and others know that you were here and you received your September prediction. Thank you for being here and for spending this divine time and space with me. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up to let me know that you appreciate the two-part prediction and that you want to help push these videos out to more Virgo babies and more babies of the Zodiac. And yeah, I'd like to thank you for being here, and I can't wait to speak to you during one of my upcoming predictions. Hello, all of my beautiful Libra babies, and welcome to the second, even more intricate part of your September Pick a Card tarot reading and horoscope. I hope that you enjoyed part one of this reading, where you got to pick from the four groups that I introduced you to during the intro of this video. But now let's get into the second, even more personalized part of this two-part prediction and personal reading of yours. So let's see what your guides have to say. First up, we've got the Eight of Swords, as well as the Queen of Cups. So I see that September is going to be a month where you need to listen to your intuition and your emotions. I see in the Queen of Cups that you're very much connected to your inner knowing and your gut feeling. And I see within the Eight of Swords that it's almost like your vision is blurred. So there's no sign or symbol that you can wait for that's going to tell you, okay, now move forward, now make this decision. You simply need to follow that gut feeling of yours. You simply need to follow your inner voice, as otherwise you may miss opportunities waiting for signs and symbols on an external level. All my beautiful Libra babies, you've got everything that you need within you. Don't seek external validation. I see here within the Hermit that it's like your guides are right here with us during this reading. It's like I can just feel them around us, my beautiful Libra babies. The Hermit confirms this, as this is a card of the major arcana of introspection, of spending time alone. Going into hermit mode is a real thing, you know, spending time just by yourself without anyone else around, and just being in solitude, just being away from the world and from the noise and other people's opinions, and also just taking time to understand yourself better. If you're an introvert, then you know this Hermit card really well. You may not have kind of titled it as the Hermit card, but you know that you need time to yourself to recharge from daily interactions with other people, or even weekly interactions that drain you if you're not someone who loves to be in social settings all the time. I see here within the Sun that September is going to be a highly favorable month for you, as the Sun is one of the best cards of the tarot, really. The Sun shows bliss, warmth, happiness, feeling taken care of, and also having a lot of hope for the future. I see here within the sun that we've also got this confidence that's radiating through you because September is going so well, so that will help you to push projects forward. Now, the Two of Swords does show me that there is some indecisiveness, and that's where I want to go back to your instinct and your gut feeling that we spoke about with the Queen of Cups and the Eight of Swords. Now, you are going to question yourself. You're going to second guess yourself. You're going to wonder whether you're making the right decisions in September, all of my beautiful Libra babies, and that is okay. After all, your zodiac sign is the sign that has a scale. Your zodiac sign is very peace-loving and very diplomatic. But unfortunately, the indecisive nature can be draining, okay? So it's important for you to remind yourself that second guessing yourself is normal, but not to rest in that space, as it just drains your energy and it just makes you feel more anxious than you really need to feel or than you really need to be. So have some confidence in your ability to make great decisions, because you're more than capable of that, my beautiful Libra babies. Rest in that awareness and in that knowingness. Next up, we've got the journey, and that's what September is going to feel like. It's going to feel like an exceptionally long month for you. It's going to feel like it was a real journey from A to B to Z, okay, like throughout the entire alphabet. It's going to feel as though it was a wild ride, but I do see very rewarding feelings. I do see feelings here for September that make you proud of who you're becoming. Next up, we've got knowing your worth. Oh, I love this card of the Wild Muse Oracle Deck. This deck is just unmatched. It is so sassy, so fun, so colorful, so elegant and luxurious. And knowing your worth, shining bright, and also not settling for less than your worth is a big part of September. So if you are single and you're dating, I want you to know here and know your worth that it is okay to cut people off who do not know your worth, where you can already tell that they want you to compromise on your morals and your values. If you're in a committed relationship and your partner isn't valuing you, now all my beautiful Libras, take time away from them. Go a little bit into your own zone. Okay, we have that here within the Hermit, but with that, I mean, don't give them access to you. Go on a solo trip. Retract a little bit. Make them wonder what you're doing, because unfortunately, as human beings, kind of take people for granted when they're always available and when we know they're always at our beck and call. And that's an important thing here within Know Your Worth, to kind of make sure that you stay in control and in power of not only you knowing your worth, but also reminding people around you that you know your worth, because that will make them remember your worth and your standards. Within gentleness, I can see that September is a month that will be challenging in some ways. Challenging but rewarding, right? We've got the journey, we've got the sun, we've got lots of really interesting things going on, and it's important in midst of that to be gentle with yourself. Book a little massage therapy, book a little spa day. Do that right after you've watched this video, you know. Make sure that you take yourself out and just take care of you, that you bring a gentle touch to whatever it is that you do for yourself, because when we have these very exciting months of growth, of journeying, of doing all of these things, it's also important that we are kind to ourselves and that we give ourselves the moment, the ability to recharge. I see here within the Malachite that it's definitely time for you to transform all of my beautiful Libra babies. It's time for you to go from where you are in September to the next level, which I can see here in the adventure in is more abundance, especially materially speaking, especially monetarily. You create your own standard and your own luck, and I do see here that you're ready for that next level, and that it's important for you to know that this is all a journey. Of course, you had to start somewhere, but sky's the limit for you. I see here within the Lemurian quartz that practicing patience is an important part of your journey and an important part of September. So practicing patience when hearing back from people or kind of getting projects done where you have to deal with other human beings, and practicing patience with yourself when you're in solitude. If there are parts of you that you're realizing you're not happy with, know that if these are patterns and you're not satisfied with them and you want to quit these patterns, it's most likely not going to be something that you're able to do immediately, right? Patterns are patterns for a reason. They repeat themselves. It's hard to break out of them. You will mess up, you will make mistakes, and that's normal. Any other sign of the zodiac would go through this same type of feeling and the same experience. So don't be hard on yourself, my beautiful Libra babies. I see here within the turquoise that another thing you're being asked to do is to be patient with your health and to prioritize your health, whether that be your physical health or your mental health. If you're dealing with a mental health issue such as depression, anxiety, bipolar, maybe an eating disorder, there's so many things that you may be dealing with or that may be kind of interwoven. It's important for you to practice patience and to know you will have good days. You will have days of really feeling like you're overcoming this thing, and you will have days where you succumb to your mental or physical ailments and where you feel like everything's falling apart and like you're taking 10 steps back. But it's important for you to not get discouraged and for you to prioritize your health in those moments and to remind yourself that you will never create a positive life through negative thoughts. So it's important for you to rest assured that, of course, things don't always work out exponentially. There are ups and downs. There are moments in which you feel like you're taking some steps back, but those only make you more resilient, and those only remind you of the fact that, life isn't linear, and that's okay. Through prioritizing your health first and foremost, you will find beauty in the fact that life is full of so many surprises and so much unpredictability. If everything in life was predictable, I think a lot of us would lose the passion and the drive that we have. So let's give thanks to some moments in which we would actually feel as though we want to fall apart. It's all about perspective, my beautiful Libra babies, and you've got this. So all my gorgeous Libras, thank you for being here and for receiving the second part to your September prediction. Make sure that you leave a little sun emoji below in the comment section to represent the Libra gang. Don't forget to thumbs up this video to push it out to more Libra babies and other signs of the zodiac so they can receive their September predictions as well. And I would just like to thank you for sharing this magical time and space with me. I can't wait to speak to you during one of my upcoming pick a card readings. Hello, all my beautiful Scorpio babies, and welcome to the second, even more personalized part of your September 2022 predictions. I hope that you enjoyed receiving the first part of your reading while picking one of the 4 groups from the intro, but now we're going to talk all things Scorpio. So I'm going to get straight into your readings. Just lean back, relax, and enjoy as we figure out what's coming towards you during the month of September, shall we? So as a Scorpio, you're ruled by Pluto. You can be intense and you're very powerful and magnetic. We've got the 10 of coins, we've got the 7 of swords, as well as the 8 of cups. So I see a kind of progression here. The 10 of coins shows me that your magnetic and intense energy is going to lead you to fulfillment in the material sense. So if you've been wanting that promotion or to get to that next level financially speaking, note that September is a month that works in your favor. And I see here within the 7 of swords that actually all your successes in the earthly realms are going to attract some people who are jealous. I see here within the 7 of swords that there are definitely some people who wish that they had what you have, and they may think some thoughts that are not the kindest in private or even say things behind your back. Where I see here in the 8 of cups, you need to walk away from those individuals. Sometimes these are people with whom you've been friends with or whom you're related to, and you never thought that they would feel this way once you reach a certain type of success level. But nevertheless, there are people who want you to be successful as long as you're not more successful than they are, or you're not too successful. So that is what I see that you're dealing with. But all my beautiful Scorpio babies, I hope that you can appreciate this very honest pick a card tarot reading, because I want you to be prepared and I want you to know that this is a quote unquote good problem to have, because that way you know who truly has your back and who doesn't. And you can also discern between people with whom you want to share your successes and people who tend to get jealous. That doesn't make them bad people, but it simply is a sign for you to back away, to back off when sharing everything that's going amazingly well, because you know they won't be able to enjoy it as much as maybe another person who can wholeheartedly celebrate your wins. I see here within the Fool that September brings a completely fresh aura and new beginning for you, as you have fully accomplished some goals that you had when it comes to your professional life and finances and the material aspect of your existence. So you're on to the next. That's one thing that I can see here in the Fool. Now, your guides want to point out to you not to get too cocky or too overly confident after this great win that is September, so that you ensure that you are staying alert and laser focused, and that you're not kind of losing that part of you that's super ambitious. We've got the Five of Wands next. Yes, that competitive edge is one thing that I can see that your guides want you to maintain and keep, because the competitive edge that you have is what has propelled you here in September to great success in the earthly realms, and you want to make sure that you stay on high alert. You want to make sure that you continue to pay close attention to all of the details, to not only what people say, but especially what they do, how they act and how they behave, and that you too act accordingly depending on how other people treat you and situations surrounding them. Now, the Ocean Jasper shows us here that you need some serious TLC, my beautiful Scorpio babies. If you've only been taking care of other people and other people's business, if you've only been concerned with your work, then do know here that the Ocean Jasper is kind of calling you out and telling you, hey, you need some time to yourself. You need some time to recuperate. You need some self-care. Book in a little massage, a spa day. Take yourself out to your favorite restaurant or coffee spot. Have that extra slice of cake. Make sure that you're taking good care of yourself physically. Purchase some new body wash, some new body scrubs, whatever excites you. Take a bath. I see here within the Ocean Jasper that the core of the message is to schedule yourself in, because sometimes life can get so busy and your schedule can get so full of tasks, to-dos, and other people's things that you may forget to pencil your needs and yourself in, my beautiful Scorpios. Next up, we've got the Azurite. Now, in the Azurite, we have you getting laser focused through self-care. I know it may sound like it is a little bit of a contradictory statement, but honestly, the more you can be at peace and at ease and relaxed and have all of your needs met, the more you will actually be able to focus when it comes to work and upcoming projects and where you want to head next, like we spoke about in the Fool, as the Fool is actually the very first card of the major arcana within the tarot. I want you to know that the Fool is definitely a symbol that there is a new beginning here, a new start to a completely unexplored journey in your life, and starting off from zero, being laser focused, is going to propel you to success so much more quickly than if you're disoriented, all over the place, tired, and not properly having your own needs met. I see here within goal setting that September is going to allow you to set the next big goals within your life, and the more you're kind of focused on these goals and reaching those targets, and the more you're penciling yourself into your schedule, the more likely you are, of course, to reach those goals. And I do see here within murky waters that there are some things that are a little unclear within September, and I want to figure out exactly what those things could be, all of my beautiful Scorpio babies. So let's add some more details into these murky waters and what they have to do with your goal setting. So first up, we've got the Three of Swords when it comes to this. Now, the Three of Swords shows me some heartache. It shows me a little bit of an uncertain situation when it comes to love. So I hope you can appreciate my honesty once again, my beautiful Scorpios. This is not a channel where we just say what everyone wants to hear. This is a channel where I genuinely prepare you for each upcoming month. So be careful when it comes to your heart. If you're single, don't give it away too quickly. Don't base how you treat someone on how much you like them. Base it on how they treat you and how invested they are in the connection with you. If you are in a committed relationship, know here within the Three of Swords that your person may be going through a tough time or may kind of be pulling back, and it's hard for you to read what is going on, hence why we've got these murky waters here, and that may make you a little bit worried and a little anxious. So it's important for you to stay calm and to focus on how you can make the situation better and be of support. I see here within the Four of Coins that furthermore, any big financial decisions should be delayed during September as you're embarking on this fresh journey. You've just accomplished something big in the earthly realms. Don't immediately go and spend. Don't immediately go and sign your name away on the dotted line. I see here in the Four of Coins that there are better opportunities to come, both in business and in your personal life. There are better deals ahead of you than in September. So be very wise when it comes to your spending habits and try to just lay low and be more focused on the next steps in your life, on the next part of your journey that is free, that only requires your time and energy and focus, and save any big financial decisions for upcoming months. So all of my beautiful Scorpio babies, this is a reading that I received for you. Leave a Scorpio emoji below in the comment section to represent the Scorpio fam. And while you're at it, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It greatly helps pushes these monthly horoscopes through the algorithm so more Scorpio babies and other babies of the Zodiac can receive their monthly predictions. So I'd like to thank you for being here and spending this divine time and space with me, and I'll speak to you during one of my upcoming readings. Hello, all my beautiful Sagittarius babies, and welcome to the second, even more personalized part of your September predictions. I hope that you enjoyed part one, which you got to pick during the intro of this video, but now I want to talk all things Sagittarius. As a Sagittarian, you are ruled by Jupiter. You're a very optimistic, honest, and fun sign, and I definitely want to see what's happening for you during the month of September. So we've got the Five of Cups as well as the Three of Swords. So I can immediately see here for my Sagittarius babies that September is going to be a month of honesty, and September is going to be a month where you're going to have to be really real with yourself about who's in your life and who deserves to continue staying within your life and who you maybe need to part ways from. I do see here within the Carnelian and the Three of Swords that you have to keep people around you who are creative and who aren't afraid to think big. I see that anyone else is just going to cause heartbreak and is just going to cause drama within your life that you don't need, as well as foster a sense of instability and you not feeling as confident as you could feel. So that's where I see in the Five of Cups that any discrepancies between your worldview and someone else's that is just kind of like rooted in insecurity, that's not going to work. Insecure friends are absolutely not the vibe for you, especially in September, my beautiful Sagittarius babies, because you can't thrive around them and they will not be able to thrive around you, as there will be jealousy. So I do see here within the Celestite that it's important for you to learn to soothe your soul and to be okay with the fact that not every friendship or romantic connection and relationship in general is meant to last for a lifetime. Some relationships are propelled into our lives in order to teach us lessons and to just be here for a season, okay? There are relationships whose reason is to be there for a season, quite literally speaking. So do soothe yourself knowing that sometimes you just have to learn something from someone and then you move on. You both go your separate ways and you lead your lives. I see here within the Hematite that kind of resting in this can really help you ground yourself and not feel as though there are issues that lie with you. As a Sagittarius, you can sometimes have this exaggerated feeling of guilt that doesn't need to be, but that just kind of comes to you from a place of not wanting to do wrong and not wanting to hurt anybody. So I do see here within the Hematite that grounding practices can really help you too, such as walking barefoot on the earth, meditating, reading, just being out in nature, chanting, dancing. There's so many different ways in which you can learn to ground yourself. And I see here within the Moon that following your intuition on this is the best thing and the healthiest way for you to thrive during the month of September. Now, the moon is a card of the tarot that is not just very mysterious, but it also shows a very changeable nature. So September is going to be an up and down type of month for you, where you change course and direction many different times. It's going to be exciting, but that also means that September is going to take a lot of energy from you. It's going to require a lot of commitment. And in order for you to be able to commit, you need to make space, right? You need to fuel yourself. So make sure that you're eating healthily. Make sure that you're resting enough, that you're getting your 8+ hours of sleep every night. Don't compromise on your physical and emotional health and well-being so that you don't end up in a low. Next up, we've got the Boss Up card. Being a boss is all about knowing your needs and also meeting your own needs, right? Not giving other people the power to meet your needs, but understanding that if you need your needs to be met, so many needs within the sentence, if you want your needs to be met, my beautiful Sagittarians, you need to meet them yourself if you want a very reliable source, if you want to maintain your personal power, because otherwise you're giving another person complete power over your happiness if the only way that you're happy is if they meet your needs. So you need to make sure that the only person who can make you happy and sad and the only person who can fully meet or miss your needs is yourself. That is the safest way to keep yourself sane. And I see here with an emotional baggage that some feelings that may come up could be feelings of abandonment, of insecurity and anxiety, even already as we're talking about this, especially if there has been some trauma bonding at an earlier stage in your life, maybe a traumatic childhood with a narcissistic parent or a parent who was very codependent, who made you feel as though having your needs met is something that only they could do and always made you feel as though you had to look out for their mood. So them kind of parentifying you rather than them being the adult and the parent in many situations. That is the type of trauma that can come up for you during the month of September, but you've got this. Don't freak out, my beautiful Sagittarians. You're just working through patterns and ensuring that you don't continue to pass these down your bloodline. Next up, we've got connecting with nature. We briefly spoke about that when it came to you taking care of yourself, right? Grounding yourself like we spoke about in the hematite. But another thing about connecting with nature is just being immersed in it and understanding that this is such a beautiful free resource for you to fully immerse yourself into a space where there is no judgment, where there is absolutely no right or wrong, no beautiful or ugly. I mean, just think about it. You walk through a forest and you don't say, oh, this stone is ugly and this one is prettier. This tree is pretty and this one is atrocious. No, this tree is maybe thin and this tree is thick. This one's really tall. This one's a little smaller. This one's just a shrub. It's still growing. There's non-judgment there. There's simply just you being objective. And that is one thing that I can see here within connecting with nature. Being able to be objective is what can help ground and soothe you during the month of September, and applying that to your life. So not scrolling through a social media feed, an Instagram feed, and thinking to yourself, oh, well, this person is more like this and like that, and this is how it compares to me. I feel adequate or inadequate due to X, Y, and Z. No. Completely disconnecting from that and simply reminding yourself of the fact that where you are is where you need to be, and your actions, experiences, and feelings are valid, and you can look at them through an objective lens and see it as a learning process, see it as a journey. I see with an endless serendipity that despite the fact that September will be a month that could be seen as challenging for you, my beautiful Sagittarians, it is also a month of serendipity where you just feel like a lot of things actually are going your way. A lot of things where you needed a little bit of luck in order to make it out the other side are working in your favor, whether that be passing a test, receiving a promotion, having a romantic situation turn out for the better. I see here within Endless Serendipity that there are so many little instances in which you're reminded that you're supported by your guides in the universe that just simply makes you feel so held and happy, and as though moving forward you can rest in a space of groundedness and knowing that you're not by yourself, you're not alone. Lastly, as a Sagittarian, in case you didn't know, being ruled by Jupiter means that you are ruled by a planet of higher education, growth, as well as a very philosophical approach to life. So use that knowledge to embrace the parts of you that want to continue learning and that have that philosophical edge. Use that with the objective type of thinking we spoke about when being in nature. Apply that to yourself and give yourself some love, kindness, and gentleness during the month of September. You truly need it, my beautiful Sagittarius babies. So we are at the end of the second part of your prediction. I hope that you enjoyed this just as much as part one. Leave a little crescent moon emoji below in the comment section to let me and others know that you made it to the end and to represent the Sagittarius fam. Furthermore, while you're down there, give this video a thumbs up just in order to help push this out for everyone to receive their September prediction. It would greatly help my channel as well. I appreciate you so much, my beautiful Sagittarius babies, and I can't wait to speak to you during one of my upcoming predictions. Hello, all my beautiful Capricorn babies, and welcome to the second, even more intricate part of your September 2022 predictions. So I hope you enjoyed part one that we went through as you chose one of the 4 groups during the start of this video. But now let's talk all things Capricorn. Did you know that you're ruled by Saturn? And Saturn is actually a planet of structure. It is a planet of responsibility. So that may be exactly why you are a rather ambitious, responsible, and efficient sign, and why you, as a Capricorn, are someone who is particularly disciplined compared to the other signs. So let's move into your reading, shall we? We've got the Queen of Cups, we've got the Page of Cups, the Knight of Cups, as well as the Queen of Swords. So tons of cups right off the bat. The Suit of Cups, in case you didn't know, corresponds to the element of water, which is the element of your emotions. It represents your inner being. I see a progression here. I see that there's a lot going on for you emotionally speaking during the month of September. There's a lot of maturing. There's a lot of innocent, childlike wonderment around as well. I see that in the Page of Cups, but also you reminding yourself of the fact that it's in your control how you allow for your emotions to affect your life as well as your relationships. The Queen of Swords shows me here that you have a very honest, straightforward approach to life during the month of September, my beautiful Capricorn babies, and this is really helping you to manage all your emotions. From the days where you're feeling like a total boss, like we've got here with the Queen of Cups, or you're kind of feeling like you just want to be a baby for the day and not have any adult responsibility. The Knight of Cups shows some confidence. It shows here that you're unafraid to explore new emotions and also be romantic. So there's so many different versions of you that are present, but you're definitely learning to navigate those in a healthy way, my beautiful Capricorns. Next up, we've got the 9 of Coins. Now within the 9 of Coins, I can see that there's some growth happening when it comes to your career and with material items within your life. So maybe you're purchasing a lot of new things in September. Ask yourself if you really need them, my beautiful Capricorns. Not to call you out, but you know, you shouldn't be overspending, of course. And in the 9 of Coins, furthermore, I do also see here that you're very close to reaching some goals that you had for yourself in the earthly realm when it comes to your career and your financial targets. So try to be very careful now in these last moments. You're just about to turn a curve, so to say. You're just about to cross the next finish line. So that's where I definitely see here within the 9 of Coins that it is time for you to be very, very mindful of how you spend your resources during the month of September. Now the 3 of Wands shows us here that you've got lots that's still brewing and cooking up for you. A lot of different ways in which you can get to that completion, in which you can get to that promotion, get to that investment, own your own home, property, vehicle, whatever it is that you have as a next goal. Maybe it's your own business. business. I see here within the Three of Wands that September is definitely a month in which working on all of your aspirations is going to really help you to stabilize your emotions. As we spoke about, your emotions can be a little bit all over the place here in September. This is a wild month for you. So having some stable, reliable places that you can go to, whether that be work or friendships or a romantic connection, that's really going to help you navigate the month of September effortlessly. Next up, we've got the Sodalite. Be honest and speak your truth, my beautiful Capricorn babies. You're very disciplined, and sometimes you're kind of a little bit afraid to tell people the truth. But when you get to that point that someone has maybe either gotten on your nerves to the point that you can't keep it in anymore, or you just know that there's no other way other than being honest and direct, you can definitely be very, how do we put this? You can definitely go from sweet to real really quickly. And this is not something that everyone knows how to handle and deal with, but that's okay, my beautiful Capricorn babies. The most important thing is for you to be honest with those around you, as they will appreciate it, even if in the moment they feel a little offended. Next up, we've got the Labradorite. So there is some magic happening for you during the month of September, and I want to see exactly what that magic relates to. So let's see what our little tea leaf fortune cards have to say about this magic. Okay, there's a card that popped right out of the pile for you. We've got the hat. So I see here in the magic that there will be some role play, no pun intended, my beautiful Capricorns. There will be a situation in which you are playing a completely different role. So hence why things may be changing in your career. Maybe you're taking on a completely different role in the form of a promotion. And I see here within the broom that you've got a new home, new attitude type of magic and energy to you. So if you've been hoping to close on a home or to move into a new living space, that will be successful during the month of September. And if you're looking to stay in your place but you've been feeling uninspired in your living space, do know here within the broom that this shows that you're making some changes, doing some decluttering and cleaning up. You're motivated to do that, and that will completely change the entire vibe, outlook, and feel of the space in which you spend the most time with, and it can really actually have a super positive effect on your life in general, all my beautiful Capricorns. Next up, we've got the King of Pentacles. Now, the King of Pentacles shows me here that you're making some wise business decisions, and that's maybe also why you're playing a different role or wearing a different hat, because people want to put you at the forefront of big business decisions. And I see here in the Eight of Swords that it's important for you to not get in your head too much or feel the pressure get to you when it comes to these big decisions, because that can really make you feel as though your hands are tied, and that can kind of stifle you from moving forward and from being decisive and assertive and pushing yourself or your work situation forward. So it is definitely so important and essential for you, all my beautiful Capricorns, to trust in yourself and your abilities to make the right decisions, and in your abilities to be a great leader, because you've got what it takes. But September is definitely a month where emotions are running high. So try to kind of find groundedness within routines and things that make you feel safe. So all my beautiful Capricorn babies, this is the second, even more personalized part of your September prediction that I hope you enjoyed. Make sure that you leave a little lightning bolt emoji below in the comment section to let me and others know that you made it to the end, and as a little secret emoji to represent the Capricorn fam. While you're there, don't forget to thumbs this video up. It greatly helps my channel, and also of course helps other fellow Capricorn babies receive their monthly predictions. So don't be stingy, do your good deed, my beautiful Capricorn babies, and I can't wait to speak to you during one of my upcoming readings. Hello, all of my beautiful Aquarius babies, and welcome to your September 2022 horoscopes. I hope that you enjoyed the first part of this prediction, which was a pick a card reading where you could pick from 4 groups at the intro of this video. But now I want to move into all things Aquarius related for the month of September. So whether you are an Aquarius in your sun sign, also known as your zodiac sign, or you know your entire birth chart and you're an Aquarius moon or rising, I want you to know here that this reading is going to bring you clarity and all of the most important information that you need to hear and receive for the month of September. Let's get into it. We've got the Wheel of Fortune as well as the Judgment card. We've got a very interesting start. These are two major arcana cards. Now, let's start off with the Wheel of Fortune, which corresponds to the number 10. The Wheel of Fortune is a card that is ruled by Jupiter. That's the astrological correspondence. And in case you didn't know, Jupiter is a planet of growth as well as higher education. And the Wheel of Fortune represents growth and you just overall putting something in motion and following through with it. This is definitely a card of luck, but also fate. So know that anything that's meant to be that you're putting into motion will come to fruition. The Judgment card, which corresponds to the number 20, shows us here that it's important that you're not so hard on yourself with mistakes that you've made in the past or things that you've set into motion in the past that maybe didn't serve you. Find balance in your approach towards yourself. That's what the Judgment card is all about. Not being afraid to be okay with the mistakes that you made, and also remind yourself of the fact that with a lot of options does come a lot of power, and you have to be decisive, and you're not always in a season in your life in which you feel super confident, and that's okay, but don't let that drag you down during the month of September. As I already mentioned in the Wheel of Fortune, you've got really amazing luck that's on your side. Next up, we've got the Seven of Swords. Now in the Seven of Swords, I can see that there is some information that needs to be revealed, and I see that someone is not putting the information out there. So that could be someone who you're working with. It could be a romantic interest or partner, and they're keeping something from you, something that's big. They're keeping some sort of secret. Let's figure out what it is. We've got the Justice card. Now, Justice corresponds to the master number 11, and Justice is also ruled by Libra, which is a sign of diplomacy. I want you to know here that someone is keeping some sort of affection from you. So this could be someone who has a huge crush on you, who is afraid to tell you about this, or it could be someone who you're seeing romantically speaking, and they have been flirting, okay? They have been looking at someone else in a romantic manner. And all my beautiful Aquarius babies, I hope that you can appreciate my honesty. This is not a channel in which we're just going to say what everyone wants to hear. I want to be honest with you, and I want you to be prepared for September, so you already know what to look out for, and you already know what's going on. So make sure that you keep your eyes, your ears wide open, and make sure that you're paying close attention to the people around you, as there's definitely a little bit of deceptiveness that's going on. Next up, we've got the World. Okay, so don't worry. This is most likely a crush situation, someone really crushing on you, but being a little too afraid to tell you, having fear of rejection, and you know why, because the World card is actually like the most favorable card within the tarot. In case you did not know this, my beautiful Aquarius babies, the World card speaks of fulfillment. This is a card where you have that ultimate happiness, that sense of accomplishment, and the World card is the last card of the major arcana within the tarot. And in case you want to learn all these things, I actually have a How to Become a Great Tarot Reader course, which you can find. It's linked in the description box. It's on bowlife.com, so feel free to check that out. But coming back to your reading, we've also got the Princess of Swords. So I see that during the month of September, it's like you almost can't put in words how joyful that you are of this situation, that everything is going amazingly well for you. And despite the fact that there was this little hidden message here, it's a positive one, right? Who doesn't want to feel wanted and like they're attractive and like there's someone who's into them? So I see here within the Princess of Swords that you may not precisely know who this person is, but you can definitely feel like things are moving in your favor during the month of September. We also have 0 F's given as well as decluttering. So within 0F's given, my beautiful Aquarius babies, this is very Aquarius-like. You're a very innovative, pioneering type of sign. You can be very rebellious. You're definitely independent. And when you don't need something, you discard of it. No second thoughts. You don't have unhealthy attachments like a lot of other signs to material things or people or situations that don't serve you. And this really is beneficial to your life. And I want you to kind of shamelessly lean into that aspect of who you are as a person and lean into that trait of your zodiac sign, as I can see that that's definitely helping you kind of get ahead of the competition during the month of September. Within hidden in plain sight, as well as decluttering, I do see that there are a lot of things that are right before you that you can get rid of. Maybe you can even look around right now in your car, in your living space. Of course, this won't work if you're on public transit or like in a space that doesn't belong to you, but maybe even then you can notice things that are just cluttery, that are just unnecessary, maybe trash or junk that needs to be tossed away. If it takes less than a minute to deal with it, just do it, my beautiful Aquarius babies. Not to call you out or to be rude, but honestly, your guides in the universe, they want you to get rid of unnecessary things that are just cluttering your space. And I see here within the Strength card that this really just kind of frees up your mental space. The Strength card is a card that corresponds to patience as well as compassion. And yeah, okay, be patient with yourself when it comes to cleaning your space, but at the same time, also don't give yourself so much space and time that you just completely forget to do it, or you get used to like the organized chaos around you. I see here within the Hermit card that spending a lot of time by yourself can definitely cloud your judgment. As an Aquarius babies, you are highly communicative. You are someone who is super social or can be very social. You're actually an air sign, despite the name Aquarius sounding like aqua, water, right? No, you're actually an air sign. And furthermore, in case you didn't know this, as an Aquarius baby, you are a fixed sign, which means that you've got great willpower. You're very stable and reliable and determined. But that also means that once you get used to something such as clutter, for example, or a certain attitude or pattern in your life that maybe isn't always the healthiest, it can be hard for you to quit it and to confront it. But there's a reason why you're here receiving this September prediction, and it is meant to be a soft, gentle word and piece of encouragement for you to not give up on working on the things that you've maybe gotten used to, that you've taken for granted, or that you never realized were maybe detrimental to some aspects of your success. So kind of take a little fine-tooth comb, if you will, pick through your life during the month of September and confront areas that are hidden in plain sight that you maybe long forgot about, as you will have time to work on things, because September is a favorable month for you. Don't just rest on all of the successes and accomplishments. Also look at how you can create delayed gratification in the future by still working on things during the month of September, even though you don't need to. That shows a lot about who you are as a person. So all of my beautiful Aquarius babies, this is the second part of your prediction that I received for you. Leave a little tornado emoji below in the comment section to represent all the Aquarius babies. And also while you're there, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It greatly helps push this video through the algorithm and helps my channel stand out so everyone can receive these two-part readings. So all my beautiful Aquarius babies, know that I'm sending you so much love. I can't wait to speak to you during one of my upcoming predictions. Take care, and I'll chat to you soon. Hello, all of my beautiful Pisces babies, my fellow water signs. Welcome to your September horoscope portion of your personal prediction. I hope that you enjoyed the first part of this video where you got to pick from the 4 groups in the intro, but now let's add on to that reading that you received. Shall we, my beautiful Pisces babies? Let's talk all things Pisces in conjunction to the month of September. Let's see what's going on for you. So first up, we've got the 6 Ace of Wands. I see victory and triumph. I see you feeling really proud of your accomplishments when it comes to a passion project. So that could be creating music, drawing, or if you're very passionate about your job and your work, that could be successfully completing a project that just makes you feel really proud of all of the hard work and dedication that you put in. Next up, we've got the Wheel of Fortune. You can replicate this feeling by approaching things from a standpoint of dedication, of having discipline, and with a good attitude. The Wheel of Fortune shows me here that things can go either way for you in September. It all just kind of depends on what type of attitude you put forth and how much dedication is there. Because for you, my beautiful Pisces babies, you are ruled by Neptune, which is the planet of imagination, of psychic sensitivity, but also spirituality and the arts. So your mindset is everything, and that dictates how much creativity is within you, and it also dictates what direction that your life goes towards, because your mind just holds so much power and so much value in your day-to-day life and activities. I see here within the Temperance card that you're being called to try to stay away from too much partying and consumerism, and also to stay away from substances, okay? So that could be alcohol, caffeine, maybe other types of substances that I will not mention here on this channel, but you know what I mean here within the Temperance card. Take it easy, take care of your body, and remind yourself of the fact that a lot of these things that are socially acceptable are pretty unhealthy and unnecessary for you. Next up, we've got the Ace of Swords. Now in the Ace of Swords, I can see some new groundbreaking ideas that are coming for you for upcoming projects. I see here within the Ace of Swords that you're feeling very inspired to start on a new intellectually demanding journey for yourself. And I see a lot of mental force and fortitude that you have available for you here during the month of September. So use it wisely, and also try to steer clear, of course, of anyone who is just drama, who just constantly wants to speak about bad news or gossip about others. Because you've got this type of opening, this little sense of enlightenment going on when it comes to problem solving, you don't want to use that mental space and capacity on gossip or unnecessary kind of talk, if you will. Next up, we've got Tell It Like It Is. So your guides and your angels, they're right here with us, my beautiful Pisces babies, and they're encouraging you to just tell people the truth. If there is someone in your life who has become increasingly toxic or negative, tell it like it is. Tell them why you can't spend as much time with them. Tell them that it is affecting you mentally and physically, and it's just not the type of energy you want to surround yourself with. And be very honest. As a Pisces, I understand it can be hard for you to be so direct and upfront, but do know here that you're being encouraged to still try to embrace that anyways, and to claim your energy. That's really like the only way you can truly claim your energy, is by being real, by being direct, by not allowing for other people to sucker you into situations that you know are taking away from your life force, your prana. Know here within Claim Your Energy that you have exclusive rights to your energy, no one else, and you can set boundaries. Within Hope on the Horizon, do you know that September brings a lot of hope for the future? It makes you feel as though you can still accomplish that dream life of yours, and it's probably also coming from a place of clarity, because being sober and just overall steering clear of anything that is over consumption, that is one thing that you're really great at here during the month of September. So if you've been thinking of quitting a bad habit, September is a month to do it for you, my beautiful Pisces. Within Be Authentic, you're taking off a mask that you were wearing. And of course, this makes a lot of sense if you're quitting a bad habit or you're getting rid of some substances or substance usage within your life, because then all of a sudden you're not only seeing and experiencing the world through your authentic lens, but you can also be authentic in yourself, because you know that the only thing running through your veins is your own cells and is your own feelings. It's not some sort of chemicals that are triggering a reaction within you. The same goes for medication that you may have been dependent on or become dependent on, trying to wean yourself off of it. and trying to wean yourself off of its effects is one thing that I can see you can accomplish during the month of September with more ease than during other months. Here within the Four of Wands, I see that there are people caring for you, people who want to be there for you and who want to protect you, and who will definitely encourage you to take on new, better habits in your life and get rid of the ones that are unhealthy and that are holding you back. And I see here within the Eight of Cups that simply stepping away from these habits, it's being reiterated by the universe, is so necessary. The Eight of Cups shows us here that there is definitely a deeper meaning to September, a deeper meaning of what moving on means and represents to you, and what areas in your life that you need to move on from. Okay, so toxic friends, but also toxic patterns and habits that you may have formed. Next up, we have got the Ace of Swords reversed. So in the Ace of Swords reversed, we kind of have a similar story to what we had in the Ace of Swords upright here in the Pastel journey. But here with the reversed sword, I see that it's important for you to let go and to walk away to reclaim your energy if you want for all of these epiphanies and great new ideas and beginnings to be in full bloom for you. Okay, so that's the only way you can access this deeply creative and innovative space, is if you detach from things that have been holding you back. Then we've got the Nine of Swords. Now in the Nine of Swords, all eyes are on you, my beautiful Pisces babies, and I see that this can definitely cause a little bit of a deer in headlights type of feeling and syndrome, but don't worry, you've got this, my beautiful Pisces babies. As a Pisces, you are someone who is very sympathetic and caring. You're a very responsive, kind-hearted person. So having all of this attention on you may be something that makes you feel uncomfortable, but try not to overthink it, and try to remind yourself of the fact that there are so many people who care about you, who love you, who want to be there for you. Complete strangers can feel the exact same way about you, my beautiful Pisces babies. Don't be so hard on yourself. Give yourself the benefit of the doubt. You're making great first impressions. The Nine of Swords is definitely a scenario in which you're overthinking, but other people already have a great first impression of you. So try to put yourself in those shoes, and when in doubt, see things from a positive, healthy perspective. So all of my beautiful Pisces babies, this is the second part to your September prediction that I've received for you. Leave a little tea, a little matcha tea emoji below in the comment section to let me and others know that you represent the Pisces fam, as our little secret water sign emoji to represent. And of course, don't forget to thumbs up this video and subscribe to my channel if you're new to never miss another monthly prediction. Thank you so much for spending this divine time and space with me, and I can't wait to speak to you during one of my upcoming predictions.